talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With the headlines at 1 o'clock, I'm Tom Clayton. Good afternoon. England's best chance of a Champions League winner is Liverpool and not Arsenal. That's according to former Red striker Ricky Lambert. Liverpool have all but confirmed a top 8 spot after that win in Marseille. And Lambert says the return of Mo Salah is only a good thing.
The fact that we seen him yesterday, Slot literally said he's starting. I just hope that he can get back scored. He had a good chance yesterday, which wasn't like him. So hopefully a goal on Sunday will get him going again.
Now we could see all 6 English teams reach the top 8 after the league phase. Good news for the prestige of English football and each of the clubs involved. But Simon Jordan says for Newcastle, it's not about reputation.
No, it gives them money, which gives them a lustre in the eyes of players that they might be able to sign next year if they've got a bit more bandwidth inside their PSR.
Forest and Villa are in Europa League action tonight. Villa on talkSPORT 2 at 5:45. Forest on talkSPORT from 8. 6,000 fans are expected to turn up to a protest against Manchester United's owners before their next home game. Supporters group the 1958 says Sir Jim Ratcliffe is helping the Glazers stay in charge. And we're back underway out in Sri Lanka. England are chasing 272 for the win. Watching is talkSPORT's Sam Ellard.
A challenging total to chase down. Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett opening the batting for England. 7 without loss after 2 overs. Asita Fernando with a new ball for Sri Lanka and a maiden to start. Crawley shots hit the first boundary of the innings, flicking a full ball through the onside for a boundary. It's a slow wicket with a little bit of turn, and there'll be plenty of spin for the England batters to face. 1 ball into the 3rd over. England now 11 without loss. 272 is the target for victory.
talkSPORT News.
A master plan for the rebuilding of Gaza has been unveiled at Donald Trump's new Board of Peace, and the number of people in hospital in England with norovirus has jumped by almost 45%. All from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Get a free vehicle safety check at all of our 600 centres nationwide to keep you safe on the road. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
Wet and windy in the north of England and in Scotland, with amber rain warnings in central Scotland. A few brighter spots further south, but still a few odd showers.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, Charlie, please tell us what's coming up.
Coming up over the next 3 hours, we'll look at why Premier League clubs are currently dominating the Champions League table. Darren Gough pops in to update us on the Sri Lanka-England one-dayer. And former Millwall and Birmingham manager Gary Rowett is with us in the studio.
Yes, we're also after tales of unlikely ways. You got one over the sporting opposition. And wrestling-loving comedian Christopher MacArthur Boyd is here.
Yes, there's all this, plus all the day's big transfer stories. We're in Benidorm, not for laughs, just to see how they're gearing up for an Anglo-Scottish World Cup invasion.
Yeah.
And we bring you another thrilling waste of half an hour, a kids' game.
Yeah.
The birthday spread.
Birthday spread is back at 3:30.
3:30, Paul, yeah.
It is 5 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Paul. I'm not going to lie to you. I completely forgot the cricket was on.
Okay.
I know I'm here. I'm going to be talking about it with Goffy. Completely forgot it was on. Looking at it now. Great.
We got him up.
12 foot. Not so great. Not so great now.
Not so great.
Not so great now. I don't know if we're getting updates. Are we, Paul?
Darren Gough's he's part of our commentary team bringing you this one-day series in Sri Lanka. And 272 to win, England need.
Yeah.
And we've got a big TV in here and we're watching the cricket.
Well, it was nice to see Crawley just wafted one outside his off stump for a change.
That's not a good shot, is it?
Constantly does that shot.
Sam Ellard's going to keep us updated. It's live over on talkSPORT, so we will kind of simulcast on over. And as we said, Goughy's coming in, but that's not a good shot, Sam,
How many times, Sam?
Oh, do you know what? I'm so desperate for Zach Crawley to be good, but it's like we've seen the same thing. You know, it was Test cricket, playing these ridiculously aggressive, driving at wide balls on the up, and then, it's not Test cricket now, it's one-day cricket. Esita Fernando, as Charlie described, with a wide ball, and he just throws his hands at it, thick outside edge, and it goes through to the keeper. Perhaps he's only playing in this game because they wanted to give Jamie Smith a rest after he had a tough Ashes series. Zach Crawley's first one-day international since 2023. But, I mean, literally that wicket, that dismissal is just vintage Zach Crawley playing away from his body, and he goes cheaply for 6. Joe Root is going to join Ben Duckett at the crease, the tough target for England to chase the 272, and Zach Crawley, different format, but same outcome.
Thank you, Sam. Sam with us throughout the afternoon. It's live over on talkSPORT 2 currently. We got that exclusively live for you, this series.
When they make the Zach Crawley statue, I don't know who would make that or why we would.
He'll be slashing at one.
Slashing at one at his off stump. Beautifully. Paul, did you see Naomi Osaka walk onto court yesterday?
No, I didn't.
In the Australian.
I didn't.
Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. For a first round match. She designed an outfit with the good people at Nike.
Yeah.
And she came on basically dressed as a jellyfish.
Wow.
That was her costume. She had a hat. She had I
feel like I should go and check it out.
It was like she was in a school production of What's Under the Sea. Littlest Mermaid.
That's it.
Little Mermaid? Littlest Hobo.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid.
Little
Mermaid.
Yeah.
And, a mum or dad.
It's a jellyfish-inspired outfit.
Yeah.
Came on
with that.
Based on that, you'd want to beat her, wouldn't you? Did she win or not?
Well, she won. She won it. But can you think of a worse animal at sport than a jellyfish? They don't even swim, Paul. They just bob about.
They can do some damage, though, can't they?
They can do some damage.
In the tackle.
Yeah, but they've got to get in the tackle. I can't think of a worse... If you can think of a worse animal at sport, 8, 10, 89.
Yeah.
Or what's a good sport that a jellyfish...
That's a very early Charlie's choice.
Your jellyfish tails.
You've done me a real favour there because I'm a bit under the weather today, Charlie. I've got a bit of a chesty cough and a bit of a chest infection.
Good player, chesty cough.
Yeah, Igor chesty cough.
What's a player, Paul?
But it's much worse when I laugh.
So you're the right person.
It's a real blessing to be working with you two. I'm not sure I could have made it otherwise.
Well, I'm good at laughing at my own jokes.
You hear me?
Well.
If you hear me coughing, I do apologise.
Perhaps we could get Jeff on to do some toppers just a couple of hours with you. That'd be nice.
There's there's some birthday spread merchandise you've probably seen, and there's some new trading cards. We'll run past the hardcore a little bit later on.
Very rare. Trading cards.
Most bizarre thing I've seen today was in today's Sun.
Oh yeah.
And it was just let's find the story for you. I did put it on our group, didn't I, Charlie? And
you'll have put it on there, Paul. Yeah,
it's gone. He's on our WhatsApp group.
Oh yeah,
Charlie.
What was it about? What's the general idea?
Well, it was a guy who was arrested in.
Oh yes, he was in Thailand, wasn't he?
In Thailand,
he was in a Man City shirt. And it was the day of the Manchester derby, and the police dressed up in Man United.
Yeah, police taunt a Manchester City fan nabbed for drugs by posing in United shirts for his mugshot hours after the derby win. The suspect, 43, was caught with methamphetamine pills in northeast Thailand on Saturday, the day the Red Devils won. The cops stood behind the fan and posted the picture online. Manchester is red. They've got proper sort of coppers' faces on.
Yeah.
Like they're very proud of the collar, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. Pop the collar like Eric Cantona. Yeah, they're very, very good.
But they've all put their Manchester United shirts to pose with the fellow. The Sun have quite decently pixelated in case he gets off, and it was all a case of mistaken identity. But that is a very unusual way of getting one over the opposition, I'd say. Sometimes there are weird and wonderful ways where you think, 1-0 to us. And in the unlikeliest of, even if you're a barber who gave a bloke a bad haircut, and they were
1-0.
Celtic and your Rangers, 1-0 to us.
When did you think?
Did I catch your ear then? If you've got tales of that, do let us know this afternoon. talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089, tweet to TSH&J. Where we used to do 90 minutes, round the corner was a Greek barber who's a big Arsenal fan.
Oh, yeah.
And He used to have a little Metaxa on the go during the day, just a little life, and keep him going.
Himself going, yeah.
And one of the boys who worked on the magazine was a big Liverpool fan, and he went along to have his hair cut, and it was just after Liverpool beaten Arsenal. And he's sort of cutting his hair, and he was just loath to say. He said, "Who do you support again?" He said, "Oh, Everton." You just sort of lied.
Just not going to say it.
Half his ear had come off.
Yeah.
Todd country.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're looking for those unlikely ways you got one over the opposition. talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089 or tweet to TSH&J.
There we are. A lot of people saying the Sloth bad at sport, but could play in Angie's high line in the back four.
Yes, that's that.
A few people saying that. Thank you, Andy in Newport. Thank you.
I was pleasantly surprised what Tottenham did the other night.
They were good, Paul. You were there. Was it as good in the stadium? Did they pass the eye test, as they say?
Yeah, they did very well in the first. I mean, look, I don't think they did badly in the second half. They were playing. They didn't want to take any chances. They sort of saw the game out. They were 2-0 up. They were very professional. It wasn't quite as good a performance as in the first, but
good having Solanke back.
He did well. His contribution was great. So, but more news today that Bergvar's out for 2 months, and that puts Tottenham after this round of games in 5th. In the Champions League group, which is a far cry from where they're at in the Premier League, and that feeds into why there are so many teams at the top of the Champions League table. We're going to talk to Henry Winter about it. I mean, money plays a big part, but I think there's more to it than that. But we are dominating the top of that table.
You were saying last night Liverpool turned up, not on great form. They hit and miss, but just swept them aside.
Well, I mean, PSV, that 3 assists effectively for all the Newcastle goals.
Second one
I thought Dortmund were terrible. They were terrible 11 against 11. That's been the feeling. All the Champions League games I've gone to this season at home, the opposition's been really poor. Look, we're going to have a chat with Andy Brassel about tonight's games later on. We might run that past him. He's a European football expert. And look, you probably make Arsenal favourites, but you wouldn't rule out Madrid. You wouldn't rule out Barca. You wouldn't rule out Bayern to win it. So it's not as if there aren't big European contenders, but it's very noticeable looking at the top of the Champions League table, just how dominant the Premier League clubs are.
But a glimpse if they're allowed to play at home all the time, Paul. You know, if they were allowed to play on that cheaty pitch all the time.
When we played them, we didn't play in the conditions that City did, but that was everyone knows that was a poor result for City, especially. Anyway, Darren Gough's going to join us a bit later on. Will Pugh with all the latest transfer stories of the day, but we will kick off with Henry Winter looking at the top of the Champions League table. Gary Rowett's with us later on, former Oxford, Millwall, Birmingham City manager. He's popping into the studio.
Dave, the West Ham fan's been in touch. Fulham at home over Christmas. Fulham supporting toddler in her shirt outside the stadium. Dropped her hot chocolate on the floor and was crying. 1-0.
That's very harsh. A little kid at Christmas.
Yeah. Dropped her hot chocolate.
But that is just that's just the kind of thing we wanted, really.
1-0 up before it started. Brilliant.
Talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089. Tweet to TSH&J. We are keeping an eye on England or Sri Lanka versus England this afternoon in the one day in Colombo. 15-1 England. They need 2-7-2 for win. Crawley, of course, has gone playing at shot he shouldn't have played. As we say, Darren Gough popping in a little bit later on. It's live now over on TalkSport 2. We're here with Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next.
Gravenberch, and at the left-hand side of the penalty area, Gakpo, 3-0. And this really is a job well done by Arne Slot's men. 3 goals, 3 points, and an outstanding chance of a top 8 finish. Marseille 0, Liverpool 3.
Finally, the breakthrough for Chelsea. It's only taken 77 minutes. A really good header from 6 yards out by Moises Caicedo. Victory for Liam Rosenior in his first game in the Champions League, and a crucial one for the hosts as well. A Chelsea performance that arguably leaves more questions than answers.
Here comes Barnes, deep from deep and scores. Something out of nothing. PSV hits where it hurts the most. Newcastle have won it by 3-0, and so they will be at the very least in the knockout phase playoffs for the Champions League. And in the end, it was a straightforward victory for Eddie Howe's side. Exactly what they wanted.
That's how it all unfolded last night in the Champions League. Of course, the night before, wins for Spurs and
Torquay shirt on the cricket ball.
So
sorry, carry on.
Sorry. Charlie, say what you see. Charlie has just seen a Torquay shirt in the crowd in Colombo.
Sorry.
So he just had to shout at the
Just
telly.
one more thing, Colombo.
So, yeah, it does mean now, going into the final group game, that from a Premier League point of view, the table makes pretty good reading. Arsenal top, Liverpool 4th, Spurs somehow 5th, Newcastle 7th, Chelsea 8th. City are 11th, but even then they're on the same amount of points as up to PSG. It's only on goal difference they find themselves there. So why, as Big Alan was saying, why? I mean, look, there's one obvious reason, but let's maybe discuss where we're at with the Premier League in the Champions League with Henry Winter. Good afternoon, Henry.
Hi, guys.
Obviously, money and the buying power of the Premier League plays a part, but is it more than that, Henry?
Well, I mean, let's get it in perspective. I mean, the team that finished 15th last year came first, PSG, and they beat 4 English teams on the way. So a little bit of perspective. I mean, take a sort of slightly longer view. 3 English wins in 10. I mean, you look at the dominance of Real Madrid at the start of that period. So a little bit of perspective. But I think, I mean, absolutely, money is key. Was it £3 billion that the Premier League clubs spent? But look, it's good to see 6 teams do there, 2 of them supposedly in crisis, but still sort of marching across Europe. I wrote a piece the other day about why there were so few goals in the Premier League this season, and there has been a sort of a marked dip. And someone pointed out quite rightly, actually, the quality of the goalkeeping in a lot of places is actually good. Donnarumma wasn't necessarily the best the other night, but Raya's obviously been very good. I mean, it helps he's got the world's best 2, probably at the moment, centre-halves in front of him in Saliba and Gabriel. But across the piece, there's sort of, they are good goalkeeping. I suppose you could debate that slightly at Spurs and Chelsea, but, Alisson at Liverpool. So, look, there is a lot of quality in there. But it is this stage of the season when the English clubs are absolutely flying. But then it's when, March and April comes around and all the Christmas and the New Year games are in their legs that sometimes it can catch up. But let's hope it continues and we get 2 Premier League finalists.
That's a big feeling Arsenal have got their best chance ever, really, of doing it. They're top the group. They haven't lost a game yet. But that experience of teams like Bayern and Real Madrid and Liverpool and PSG will count a lot, I think, as we get into the knockout stages.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, Bayern with Harry Kane last night. I mean, they're just phenomenal. So you wouldn't. I mean, a lot of these teams have got that muscle memory. Real Madrid, they just lost Xabi Alonso, and they still march on. Top of the scorers is Mbappe. I mean, it's obviously good to see Kane up there, but it's good to see Anthony Gordon up there. It's good to see Harvey Barnes up there in terms of the top scorers. And then 1 or 2 people having doubts about sort of Eddie Howe, and look at the way they play. Was it PSV last night? 3-0. Outstanding. So absolutely, the English clubs are flying, but we do know that it's there is a rhythm to the season, and the intelligent teams like PSG will know when to kick on and to go for the line. Real Madrid are absolute masters at it. Whatever's happening in the dugout, and Bayern Munich too. So don't rule them out, and Barcelona as well.
The quality of the team. I mean, I was really shocked just how poor Dortmund were, 11 against 11 the other night. I've been to quite a few of the Tottenham Champions League games at home, and I've been pretty underwhelmed by the quality of the opposition. I mean, even PSV last night defended like drains. They basically gave Newcastle 3 goals. And that's a big name in European football.
But coming back to the money, I mean, if you've got the Premier League clubs who are able to spend $3 billion at the start of the season, which is probably more than the other leagues put together, if you've got the average team in the Premier League gets what, it's at 140, 150 million quid a year from broadcast money alone. And that is the average. And then the closest, I think, is Spain, which is sort of 60 million quid, their average. It is obviously going to tell, because you can go and pick not simply the best players from the continent. I mean, probably about 50-50 of the top 10 who are on the continent and who are over in England, but also some of the best coaches as well. So, I mean, it's just great to see, and long may it continue, but you have to view it over a longer period. And the Spanish have had, 5 wins in that period, the English 3, and then Germany and France 1 apiece.
Yeah.
For the managers, it looks to me like there's strangely less pressure on the Champions League fixtures than there are, one Premier League defeat and you're out of a job, you've lost your touch. Whereas with the Champions League, I don't know if it's because
the format,
of the format, that they seem to be able to relax more and just sort of play their own football a little bit more.
I think there's also that element in the Premier League, and the reason why it's the most popular and most watched sporting competition across the world is that almost every game is competitive. I mean, everyone writes off Wolves and look at the fact that they've come. So you can't take anything easy. But look, take Arsenal. You mentioned Arsenal. I mean, if Saka's not playing, Madueke comes in. If Trossard's not on the left, you've got Martinelli comes in, or Eze can play out there. Gyökeres, they spent a lot of money on, who is coming good, and then they can play Gabriel Jesus. So look, there's just the strength of the depth. I mean, you know what it's like. You guys go to a lot of matches. You immediately look at the benches just to see who might edge this, particularly with five subs. I think there's another element that I think with the Premier League clubs have become better at gamesmanship. They've become better at slowing the games down. All those things that 20 years ago we got a bit snooty about continental teams are doing. I think English clubs have become streetwise. And actually, if you want free-flowing football, you sometimes have to look at the Bundesliga as much as the Premier League because of the stoppages in play. I think the other thing is, I don't know how this works either way, is that there seems to be a different application of VAR in certain incidents. I don't know whether that necessarily helps the Premier League clubs or makes them more sort of aware of things that are going to happen or not. But that's something that everyone's got to get used to, the difference between Premier League VAR and UEFA.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that, Henry. That's one thing you can't account for. You can easily be sawn off in a game. I mean, I didn't think the Dortmund red card was a red card. It wasn't a lot of contact. And how often do we find ourselves saying, well, that's a red in the Champions League, it's not in the Premier League. So that's something that could undo any one of these Premier League sides. They've got no control over that.
I'm still trying to work out how Diogo Dalot stayed on, actually, the other day. So I'm a supporter of VAR if it's used for its original intention, which is clear and obvious, but there's a bit of inconsistency going on.
Good stuff, Henry. Good to talk to you.
Henry.
Catch up with you soon. There's Henry Winter there back on Sunday morning, of course, here on talkSPORT.
Bayern Munich, I fancy for it, Paul.
You fancy Bayern Munich?
Because they run away with the league. They don't have to worry about the league, do they? So it just...
Arsenal keep going the way they are. But a lot of it, as we get into that, it depends who you get in the draw. Yeah. And as we said, if you get sawn off by...
VAR,
by VAR in one of those games, it's difficult. But, as the guys were saying earlier on, Liverpool got a very good chance. We shall see.
We'll see, Paul. That's how any footballer... I was taken by that Torquay shirt.
Yeah, you can't get that out of your head, can you?
Head now.
What vintage was it, the Torquay shirt in Colombo?
It was a repro, because I've got the original of that. I could tell they've done a repro of that. It was about 2001, 2002.
Nice.
Paul, Charlie, our wife had our first baby, Bethan, on the same ward as Jerry Francis' wife. Julie had their boy, Adam. We remained friends.
Nice.
Second or third birthday, my wife got Adam a present for his birthday party, which Bethan and she were attending. I was working. As Jerry was then the Spurs manager, I added an Arsenal team photo panini sticker into the present. 1-0. 1-0.
Yeah, we were telling you about the guy who was arrested in Thailand for a drug offence, and the 3 officers who arrested him all were pictured in their Manchester United shirts as he sat there in the foreground in his City shirts with his illegal haul, saying United is red, or Manchester is red.
Manchester is red, yeah.
We are looking for... the weird and wonderful ways you manage to get one over the opposition. It hasn't got to be football, it could be anything, rugby, etc. talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH&J. Darren Gough popping in to give us his thoughts so far on this one day between Sri Lanka and England. We'll get an update as well from Sam Millard very shortly.
Arcelot's Liverpool team finally taking shape. 13 games unbeaten and 4th in the Champions League table after a triumphant win out in Marseille.
That just gives us a glimpse of what could be possible going into the end of the season.
Ricky Lambert agrees with talkSPORT's Jermaine Pennant that Liverpool are more likely than Arsenal to be European champions.
Arsenal haven't won it. That is another hurdle that they have to get over as well. So I agree. I think the best chance of an English team winning the Champions League is Liverpool.
We understand Crystal Palace have spoken to Wolves about Jorgen Strand Larsen. It's after Jean-Philippe Mateta says he wants to leave. Meanwhile, we're hearing Spurs value Mickey van der Ven at least 100 million. It's believed he wants out, but van der Ven's under contract until 2029. Now, Neil Warnock's told us it's not a done deal that Pep Guardiola will be off at the end of this season.
I don't think he will leave until he's successful again. He's got that bit between his teeth now, and he knows what people are saying or what the world will be saying, and I think he'll wait now, and especially after the game like the other night, which was probably as bad as it gets.
Guardiola's never gone 2 years without winning something. And 17 years after they first appeared together in the 3rd round at Melbourne, Stan Wawrinka, Novak Djokovic and Marin Cilic are still going strong out at the Australian Open. There's more at talksport.com.
Winning the toss, and they're going to have a bat.
Overton in once again, slightly short, and Mishara has climbed into this one. 141 Ks that, and he's just put it over square leg for 6.
72 metres, about standard these days. I like it when it starts going on 100, 110 metres.
Just got his 8-iron into the first bunker on the driving range, wasn't it?
The slow one, and this should be taken. It's taken. That is a very good catch. Hit flat and hard. Batum Nisanka was deceived a bit by the slower delivery.
The 54 for 1. As you could call that 54 for 2. Adil Rashid again. As Bethel might have picked up a wicket here. No, just drops. Suddenly seemed to be caught between making a decision to field or take the catch. And in the end, he did neither.
Well, he valued his teeth.
Mendes brings up another half century, his 35th in this form of the game.
Yeah, fantastic. Knock 50 from 61 from Kusal Mendes.
I tell you what, this is a slow delivery from Curran. It's been dispatched.
Will Alagay strikes it high. Has it cleared the boundary? It has. And 271 for 6. They'll be very happy and they'll take it.
So, yes, England needing 272. Let's get you updated before we chat to Goughy. Sam Ellard's watching for talkSPORT. Sam.
Has gone England 37 for 1 in reply. Zach Crawley going for 6. The England opener going after a wide delivery from Asita Fernando, but can only find a nick to the wicketkeeper. Not a good shot from Crawley chasing a wide ball. He was not in control. The second wicket partnership, though, worth already 25 runs, and good to see Joe Root once again looking in good touch. He's already got 18 runs to his name of just 21 balls. Seen 3 glorious boundaries already. A drive through the covers, a flick off the pads that went to the leg side boundary, and a cut shot that beat the fielder at point. So Root's got 18. Ben Ducker looking a little bit uncomfortable on 13, in particular off the seamers early on. There was a couple of inside and under edges that just missed the stumps. But England looking to rebuild after that loss of Zach Crawley early on. Root's got 18. Ducker's got 13. 9 overs gone. England 38 for 1, chasing 272.
Thank you, Sam. Part of your commentary team, bring it to you live over on talkSPORT, is Darren Gough, who has popped in to see us. Hi, Goughy.
Hello.
So there was a bit of a feeling that 272 was going to be pretty tough to chase. How you feel about the start England have made?
Well, kind of carried on from the winter, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it feels like.
I think average score there was, 246, 247. I think they have played there on a couple of occasions, but the average score tends to be around that mark. But you could slightly up that purely because of the way they play now, and both teams are packed in batting. So I thought around 265. They managed to get 271. England I thought slightly play it different. I thought they'd come at the new ball. They tried to. Zach Crawley, action replay, like I said, caught off a wideish delivery.
It was so wide, wasn't
But that's how he gets out, isn't it? He can play some wonderful, wonderful cricket shots, and he is a wonderful talent. But unfortunately, he keeps getting out.
Yeah. Now, gets out in the same way, God.
He gets out.
Talk me through the thought process of that, getting out the same way nearly every single time.
Because I don't think like that.
No.
I used to bat number 10.
Yeah.
And I still didn't think like
all right, but as a bowler, are you bowling at that?
I'd be happy. I'd bowl that line to him all day. He can hit me for 3-4s in a row, but he's going to nick one. It's just the way it goes. And they're now in a situation, and this is why Joe Root, remember only a few years ago, Joe Root got dropped from the white ball team, brought him back, and this is why, because it's nearer to Test cricket than anything else. And for him now to be coming in this sort of situation is ideal for him. This is why he's picked. Hopefully he's the one who's going to go on and play an innings like Kusal Mendes did for Sri Lanka and get that 3 figures or 70, 80, 90 and see the team home. But it's not going to be easy. We know over there the pitch is slow. They've got lots of spinners in their lineup. One on now, Dhananjaya De Silva. He's come back into the side for Sri Lanka. And they've got so much option with a spin department. It'll be difficult in the middle overs, but if they win from here, it'll be a good victory.
Yeah. How did you think we bowled? It looks like Adil Rashid was the pick.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that going in with 2 seamers only was always going to be a gamble, because who's going to bowl at the end? And he's left it to Overton, who I thought actually bowled quite well this game. Unfortunately, his last over is going to spoil his figures. He's ended up going for 66, and on paper, it'll say, well, he's bowled rubbish.
He went for 23, didn't he, in the last over?
Yeah. But with a new ball, he got bounce, he had pace, he was bowling 145 clicks, what's that, 90-odd miles an hour. So, pretty impressive, right? Sam Curran does what he does, mixes it up, lots of slow balls. I thought he capped him really well, Harry Brook, actually, with the spinners. He manoeuvred them around pretty well, and because that's sometimes not easy. When you've got 4 spinners, which he did have. Well, he's got 6 if he wanted, but he had to use 4 of them. And trying to get them in without upsetting their rhythm, I thought he did a pretty good job. And well done, Adil Rashid. Another 3 for 44.
Yeah. I like Sam Curran. I'm always amazed he's not more involved in the Test team. Or he seems to have a cool head. A good option.
He's matured, hasn't he? These last 2 years, I think. The IPL. As much as you want to criticise franchise tournaments, has made him a complete cricketer. And these sort of pitches he is dangerous on. He's a good batter. You've seen how clever he is with the ball, lots of slower balls. He's a potential leader going forward.
Yeah.
If Harry Brook decides he doesn't want to do it, or they make a change at some point, I think he'd be the obvious choice to be the next captain. But yeah, underrated cricketer, and I think people are realising now how good he is. I'm not sure he'll be in a rush to get back to Test cricket, because he's earning that much money going around the world playing in these tournaments.
This is the problem now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big problem. And whoever's in charge, whoever's the next selector, will have that job to try and persuade him.
Is that going to be you, Goughy? Are you the next selector? I thought I'd ask.
Well, yeah,
I'm not selecting, but if I was selected, I'd probably select myself.
Well, Luke Wright
I would select myself for anything.
Yeah. Luke Wright has stepped down, former Sussex and England player. He was doing the job. He has stepped down, he says. It's his call. You do wonder whether this... when you saw that news, you thought, is this where the clear-out starts?
I think everybody would have thought that originally.
And what about the role of the sort of modern selector? Because they did away with selectors and then brought them back, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's important you have a selector. I really do. And the reasoning is it's got to be someone who can question both sides. I think the problem with Luke and it's not his fault. He applied for a job that was there, the job description, is basically it was reporting. He wasn't picking the side. He was putting players forward, and then it was up to Stokes, McCullum, probably Key, right, to select.
Yeah.
So I know Steve Armison's been on here and called it a yes man job, whatever. It might have ended up that way, and I think he might want a bit more responsibility. I don't know, or he has been. It's part of the mopping up, and it's going to take time. But remember, we've got a World Cup here, and it's the wrong time to be making big decisions about who's going to do what with a World Cup just round the corner, because we want England to do well in that.
Yeah.
But the job, I think it's got to be more and have more hands-on. You've got to be part of that selection, not just putting players forward. You have got to be seen at the cricket grounds. Look, you don't.
That's been a criticism, isn't it? That they've not been out watching county cricket.
A few guys have come out and said it, haven't they? And I think they're right. Now, if I was a selector, I'd want to be seen at the grounds that are not as trendy.
Yeah.
It's easy to pop up to Headingley or pop to the Oval or pop to Old Trafford, where lots of England players come from. You've got to be going to the grounds like Bristol. You've got to be going to Northampton. You've got to be showing, but county cricket matters, and people that play at county cricket who do well have got a chance of playing for England. Now, the messaging from the top to county cricket has been a negative one, and it's going to take a lot of clearing up that and a lot of goodwill going forward. And it needs someone who's going to go in there and put the hours in, and by watching those guys. You don't need to go watch Harry Brook bat.
No.
What's the point of me going to watch Harry Brook play for Yorkshire if I was a selector? I know how good he is. I've seen that. You want to go look at players who are on the just not far away. You want next line in. The Lions so much. So.
Is there any problem with the style that Brendan McCullum wants them to play? It doesn't work particularly well at county level, so it's difficult.
Well, the pitches are not as good.
Yeah. So it's difficult to
get an idea of whether someone's up to it.
And you've got to remember as well, a lot of players try and play a certain way when they haven't got the talent to do it. Brendan McCullum averaged 38 in Test cricket, and he was a fantastic player, but he got better with age. When he was younger, he was reckless, right? And it took him a long time to... The IPL developed him to be able to play that way. You look at his strike rate in Test cricket, it's something like 60, 64. I think Joe Root's over that.
Yeah.
You know? So when they talk about, he invented this game, he didn't. Later on, that last Test match he played and some of the one-day innings he played in the IPL were outstanding, and he was a brilliant player at the end, and I really enjoy it. And I enjoy watching baseball. I enjoy watching it. But what I don't agree with is sometimes it's the lack of thinking. You have to look at the wicket. You have to see how players get their runs. If you're batting second, see how they get their runs and play to that. Harry Brook, 3 years ago, were playing a positive brand of cricket. It was unbelievable to watch. Hitting the ball, walking down the wicket and down the ground, short, pulling it, hitting it through the covers, you know. He wasn't going in second ball, trying to sweep a 79, 82 miles an hour seamer and getting his balls knocked out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Ramp shots, I
want to see him playing aggressive cricket. I want to see him playing a Brendan McCullum style of cricket. But I don't want to see him trying to sweep when he first gets to the wicket.
No.
Joe Root tried that a few years ago, and he's gone back to being Joe Root.
Yeah.
Right? And how good is it watching Joe Root bat? How good was he watching Jacob Bethel bat?
Yeah, well, he's coming up. I think we're all looking forward to seeing him batting this one.
Well, it might be a slightly different innings to play here, but that innings he played was a proper Test match number 3 innings.
Yeah.
And it was, look how many plaudits have said because of the way he played.
Yeah.
He built an innings from scratch all the way through to a fine 100. That's what you want to see in 5-day cricket.
Do you fancy the selector's job, Goffy? You issuing a come and get me plea?
I haven't got any job at the minute.
Okay. A hell of an application, I thought that.
I don't know if Rob Key's at home or he's out there, but you heard it. If Goffy,
I don't know
Goffy
if he's still talking to me, to be honest.
We'll let you get back to your commentary. Thank you, Goff. Thanks for hopping
enjoyed
in.
it. Cheers, chaps.
Don't forget you can hear live commentary of the first one-day between Sri Lanka and England right now over on talkSPORT 2, and make sure to check out the following on podcast after every day's play for all the best reaction. Head over to the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel too, or listen on the talkSPORT app. We're going to talk transfers next with the Sun's Will Pugh.
For Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
Yes, the Super Bowl is just a few weeks away, and we're sending one of you and a mate to San Francisco on the 6th of February to see it live. Flights, 3 nights in a hotel, spending money, and 2 seats at the game. It is the biggest event in sport, and we are sorting the whole thing. But this is it. The competition closes today at 4 p.m. So get your entry in now, and here is how. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close today at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Yeah, very best of luck. Now it's time to talk transfers.
Transfer window. Breaking news on talkSPORT with Intuit QuickBooks. Tackle your self-assessment with Intuit QuickBooks. Search QuickBooks to find out more.
Yes, look at the day's big transfer stories with Intuit QuickBooks, and we've been joined in the studio by the host of the Sun Sports Essential Football Transfer Show, Will Pugh. Hello, Will.
Hello, Will. Gents, how are you getting on?
Yeah, very good.
Good, thank you. Yeah,
Stop lording it over Paul about West Ham if you can.
Yeah. We've got that.
Mighty and glorious as we are.
We've got that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where were we? Where should we start? Mickey van der Ven, this story today. Apparently Liverpool showing an interest. I mean, I don't know if anybody has set this particular tariff, but I would imagine he's £100 million player. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No.
I mean, I don't want him to go, and I hope he doesn't.
No, I heard Crookie talking about it this morning, saying Spurs value him at £100 million. Simon Jordan immediately scoffed and said he'd pay around 80 for him. But to be fair, he's 24 now.
Yeah.
What other defender of Van der Ven's quality are you going to pick up?
Well, I think he could play for any team in the world.
Yeah.
He could certainly rock up at Real Madrid or anybody else and still be brilliant. But that kind of recovery pace, the amount of time he gets you out of trouble, and you can't, that costs a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. He's clearly not happy at the moment as well, isn't he? Obviously, lots was made of the snubbing Thomas Frank handshake and then having a go at the fans at Bournemouth, that sort of stuff. It feels like it's sort of like an unwritten sort of agreement, really, that it's his time to leave Tottenham. It's got to happen this month, though.
That overlap interview, I mean, when he did that, it was the first time he sat there with his dad, put his head above the parapet, and it was almost like saying, "Yeah, I'm a bit of a face, so that's why I'm doing." And it just struck me that okay.
Do you not feel it's sort of fair and reasonable though? I mean, it's 120 grand. He's on a good thing at Tottenham, but it's not
Yeah, that
be unreasonable.
That big move comes earlier now in your career, I think.
Yeah.
It comes when it used to come when you were sort of 27, 20.
If I trusted anyone on this ball to spend the money wisely, I would probably argue that 110 million pounds is a lot. But, we had 100 million for Gareth Bale, effectively.
The Bale money.
And we threw most of that, apart from Christian Eriksen, up the wall.
If you say in the summer they're going to have 3 years, he's going to have 3 years left on his deal, would you not say that if someone, be it Real Madrid, Liverpool, whoever it might be, come and put 80
I'd hate
million
to see him
quid on
playing
the
in
table?
the Premier League again. I'd much rather him go abroad. We've got this special relationship with Real Madrid, Tottenham, which we give them our players, and we get nothing in return, which we've had for many years now. So.
As the proud son of a used car dealer, you don't put the sticker price. Spurs have gone early on their sticker price there. On their windscreen.
Well, I mean, I don't think they've set the price, but, I mean, it's obvious that they would want big money. Crescencio Somerville, currently at your place, and made to look like Vinny Jr. by us the other day, certainly in the first half. Apparently, Tottenham are showing an interest in him because he had a good 20 minutes against him. That sounds like sound recruitment, that does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's the only good 20 minutes he's had for quite some time as well. But,
Is there anything in this, Will?
Yeah, well, Tottenham, the reports this morning, they've made an official approach. £25 million set to make a bid. West Ham paid 25 million quid for him from Leeds in 2024, that was. He started so well for West Ham, had a really major hamstring injury that kept him out for 8 months. And that really impacted him. He struggled to sort of hit any sort of reasonable form since then. 3 goals and 6 assists in 40 games it is. But there is a player in there. There really is. It's just taken a bit of time to come back in. However, from a Tottenham point of view, where you are in the league, the way you're playing at the moment, he is ever so slightly better than Tell and Wilson Odobert. And obviously, you signed Kudus for £55 million. I was inundated on Twitter with Tottenham fans telling me he's going to win the Ballon d'Or after I said we'd pulled your pants down for it.
Well,
hasn't done it since. I think 25 million. West Ham will want more than that, to be fair, because he's still got 3.5 years left on his deal.
It'll be interesting. I'll be surprised that happens, but we'll see. Jorgen Strand Larsen, Palace showing an interest. Does this mean that we're going to talk about Mateta? Does this mean Mateta is off in January? I mean, how much more can Palace fans take at the moment?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got to feel for them. As I was just reading all the stuff this morning, it's just like blow after blow after blow. However, I'm sure what they've had in recent years, they probably accept that the bubble has to burst.
Kevin Day said he's going to throw himself down those stairs again.
Oh no! It's interesting with Strand Larsen. I mean, you kind of look at him, you think there is a player there, but then sometimes you look at him, you think there isn't.
I mean, 20 goals, 7 assists in 62 games for Wolves. So he's got an excellent return. Four Wolves as well. Let's have it right. I think there's an acceptance at Wolves sort of behind the scenes. They're going down this season. If they can get the money for him, I think 18 months. He's got 4.5 years left on his deal. Mateta, 18 months left. Feels like a like-for-like replacement. Palace have sort of acknowledged that they're going to get rid of him this month, Mateta, especially now he's said that he wants to leave. They'll cash in on him now while they can. And I think Larsen is an absolutely brilliant replacement.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Talking of Villa, a couple of players, your paper reporting they've made a little sort of cheeky bid for Ruben Loftus-Cheek from Milan, and they're interested in Tammy Abraham already, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the Abraham one probably got a little bit more, or a little bit more likelihood that's going to happen this month. Aston Villa Chiefs are already in Turkey ahead of that game at Fenerbahce, and they were watching Abraham on Monday night playing for Besiktas. He's a little bit complicated at the moment because he's on loan from Besiktas, from Roma. In the summer, Villa sort of offered him a 4.5-year deal. That's on the table, but Besiktas need to find a replacement before they'll sanction letting him go this month. But his Roma deal's up in the summer. And
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I mean, he got back in the England team. I don't think he was in. I think he dropped out of the squad again, didn't he? But he must want to. If he thinks he's maybe in with a shout, he might want to come into the Premier League and give it a go.
I think it's exactly that. It's always that season before major tournaments is sort of intriguing. We've spoken about this in the studio plenty of times before. Those seasons before major tournaments, players start caring a little bit less about the money and a little bit less about the length of contracts, and they're more bothered about, right, where am I going to play the most and be able
Conor
to
Gallagher was even turned up at Spurs.
You can pick up some good loan deals in January before a tournament because simply players want to be in the international manager's face. They want to be playing football, so you can turn up some good deals.
And you know, it's like these days as well. If once a player makes it abundantly clear that he wants to leave, it's harder and harder for clubs to say no. So if the players do that a little bit more because of the major tournament on the horizon, it sort of puts a bit more pressure on the selling club anyway to accept a slightly lower fee.
One final one, Leipzig's Jan Diamanda. They want a lot of money for him. Liverpool showing an interest, but again, this is, I think, what they said. They said they're not going to sell him in January, so this looks more like the summer, doesn't it?
I think so. This is we covered this in the last episode of Essential Football Transfers, Paul. Real deep dive to the statistical, tactical profiling of this guy. He is unbelievable. He's got a really interesting story. Only a year and a half ago, he was at Elite Sports Academy in Florida. He did 6 months with Leganés in Spain. He's done 6 months with Leipzig, who paid 20 million quid for him in the summer. Only 19. He's right up there in all the key attacking metrics. He's a left winger, cuts in off his right foot. Definitely won't happen this month, but not just Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, any of Europe's biggest teams will be mad not to sign him in the summer.
And when is your next edition out then, Will?
Shooting it tomorrow morning, and it'll be out on Wednesday.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Good to see you, Will. Thanks for popping in.
Pleasure, gents.
Will Pugh there, the host of Sun Sports Essential Football Transfers Show. England now 71-1. They showed a comparison when it was 50 up, and Sri Lanka were 51-1 at that point. So comparable right now. They need 272 for win. It's live over on talkSPORT 2 right now. But plenty more to come with us, including Gary Rowett joining us in the studio for a chat later on. Yes, Gary Rowett with us in the studio very shortly, but first Tom Clayton is here with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Well, thank you. Good afternoon. Are Liverpool actually turning a corner? According to former Red Ricky Lambert, it helps that the new signings are finally getting up to speed.
The expectation of these new players has been so high. I think they're starting to get up to them expectations now, which is understandable. I hope this continues now and we just get better and better and better.
He also agrees with Jermaine Pennant, who reckons they're England's best hope of winning the Champions League. All 6 English clubs could occupy the top 8 after the league phase. Simon Jordan's pleased Newcastle are among them, but more so for Eddie Howe.
I think he's a very, very decent football manager.
Yeah.
A very decent human being. And the one I look for, every time I see Newcastle doing well, I feel that I'm pleased for him. Good. I'm not a Newcastle fan, so I don't really care what happens to Newcastle, but I do like him. I'm an Eddie Howe fan.
Forest and Villa are in Europa League action tonight. Villa on talkSPORT 2 at 5:45. Forest on talkSPORT from 8. Now, West Ham have confirmed the signing of Venezuelan winger Kaiber Lamadrid on loan. It's believed there's a £1 million option to make that permanent. Meanwhile, we understand Crystal Palace have held talks with Wolves over Jorgen Strand Larsen. And England are building despite an early wicket against Sri Lanka. Watching for us is talkSPORT's Sam Ellard.
Target 272, 17 overs gone. England 74 for 1. Zach Crawley went cheaply for 6, but the second wicket partnership worth 62 runs. Joe Root loves batting in Sri Lanka and is going along nicely this afternoon. Unbeaten on 37, looking comfortable at the crease. Ben Duckett looked scratchy early on in his innings, but he's got to 30 not out. Has just hit 2 boundaries off the last Sri Lanka over, sweeping and then using his feet. So England building nicely after Crawley went cheaply. The target for victory 272, 17 overs gone. England 74 for 1.
talkSPORT News.
Remember it live over on talkSPORT 2. The US has set out a master plan for what it calls a new Gaza, which includes tourist resorts and data centres. And in Spain, there's been another train crash, the third in less than a week. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With expert technicians in all our centres across the country, we'll keep your car's inbuilt safety tech in top condition this winter. Book today at quickfit.com.
Wet and windy in the north of England and in Scotland, with amber rain warnings in central Scotland. A few brighter spots further south, but still a few odd showers.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker here on talkSPORT. Colleen Holm joins us later on. She's the boss of the Winning Post bar in Benidorm. I think it's the only bar with the bookies built in.
Nice, very nice.
But
well, you could say the whole of the Cheltenham Festival is a bar with the bookies built in.
Well, maybe they've actually got a sports book though in the bar, because I think my dad was a bookie.
Nice.
Anyway, we're going to chat because they're expecting a big sort of England and Scotland fan, and let's hope some other home nations. Because it's going to be so expensive to go to the World Cup, they are expecting a little mini invasion in Benidorm. So we'll be chatting to her a little bit later on. We'll have a birthday spread for you. Tim Vickery joins us from South America as always. But joining us in the studio now, the former Millwall, Birmingham, Oxford United boss, Gary Rowett. Good afternoon, Gary.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you. So you listen into the clips of the week now and again?
Clips of the week got me through a Friday afternoon from time to time. I think the one I can remember is Alan trying to say Coca-Cabana.
Oh, yeah.
He made a song of it, I think, if I recall. It was absolutely hilarious.
Cool. Yeah, we wish Alan well. He had a bit of a turn today. We wish him well. I'm sure he'll be okay. So, Gary, you were at Oxford until recently. You kept Oxford up.
Yeah.
And then started the new season, and you parted ways with them a short while ago. I mean, you did a brilliant job keeping them up. So what happened?
Yeah, I think, that first season, it took so much energy and effort, I think, to keep them up. That was the sort of remit. And then sometimes, it's like when you start a new season, you make decisions yourself as a manager. The club makes decisions around how they want to look moving forward. And I don't think we quite got everything right, but it was just what it was. It's a tough division this year. There's not many. I think with Birmingham and Wrexham coming up and spending the money they have, I don't think there's too many teams competing at the bottom end, which makes it even more difficult to stay in the division. So, but I've got good relationships with people there, so I moved on. But I think they have to, at some point, a club has to throw the dice. You understand it. At some point, they might not want to do it, but at some point, they did it the last season. It worked with me coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe it works with someone else coming in. I genuinely hope it does.
That's the thing, that the hierarchy sometimes, I see a manager do a good job, and you see him like you have 6 months there, and you keep the team up, and they think, oh, great, Gary can just keep doing what he's doing.
He's got the magic wand.
That often happens in football, isn't it? The manager that works the magic and everybody loves in the summer, suddenly things change as the new season starts.
Yeah, but that's the job. That's the role. You come into it. I've always said that. You go into it with your eyes open. If an owner who's spending millions of pounds decides their business wants to go down a different route, You accept that. That is part of the game. That's part of management. And you walk away, you shake hands and you move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's football. You spent your life in football. I mean,
there you go.
How did it start for you, Gary? Who scouted you?
Yeah, really interesting. When I was, I say really interesting, not that interesting. I don't want to big it up too much.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, I was living on the Isle of Wight, so not many players, sort of got off. There's a few. Lee Bradbury was in the year below me, so we had a decent school team. Got to the quarterfinals of a national competition. Hadn't gone to a club. Was very late in terms of going into a club, and I got offered apprenticeship terms. I was just accepted a college course place in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
So I was planning to do that. And my dad called me one afternoon and just said, listen, I've had a phone call. Cambridge United want to sign you. So at that point, you think, wow, I was literally a month away from, doing a BTEC. And ended up going. It wasn't quite what it said on the tin, which a lot of things happened at Cambridge.
Yeah.
I was actually on trial with a couple of people.
Right.
Managed to get offered an apprenticeship, and that was it, really. And then went through the sort of ups and downs of getting into a team. I nearly got released after my first season as a first-year apprentice. The start of the second season, I was in the team at 17. So it just shows you how, a little bit of fortune here.
Who was the manager at that point?
John Beck was the manager.
Oh, right, okay.
The legendary John Beck. Are all the stories true?
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
And usually as an apprentice, you had to administer some of the things. I mean, imagine 16 years old throwing a bucket of ice cold water over Liam Dace, who's threatening you and saying, if it hits me, you're in trouble. And I'm not sure which way to go on this one. So, a lot of the stories are true. But there was a method in the madness, like the style or not, to get a team to move from division to division. You've got to remember, you nearly went from the conference to the Premier League.
Yeah.
One after another. And I think it was just that last 6 months that stopped them. They were top of the championship come sort of January. So there was a lot of things that they did well. A lot of data very early back then.
Yeah. Because John gets a lot of stick for being old school, but he was a bit ahead of his time, wasn't he?
Do you know what? He was new school. Yeah, he was new school. He was just a style was perceived as old school.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of success of it. So you could take things from how he did things and how he got, a group of sort of free transfers to perform so well and the sum of the parts to be a very, very good team.
You worked with lots of very good managers over the years, maybe some not so good. But what did you take from those managers? Who were the ones that you kind of feel maybe you took the most from when you worked under them?
Yeah, I mean, as moving into management, I tried to remember, when I came to the end of my playing career, I tried to remember all the things I like. I know it's probably a little bit of a biased view and not necessarily the best view, but I looked at the things I liked, organisation, a really clear plan of what to do, clear messaging. The best managers that I worked for were all quite similar in some ways, but a lot of the managers were back then. So someone like Jim Smith, he would drop you, you'd go into his office and you'd come out laughing.
Yeah.
You didn't know how he'd done it. Honestly, it was genuinely unbelievable, the man management side of it. And I had quite a few managers like that. And of course, the game's moves on in a different way. But you're still managing people, aren't you? Still dealing with 25 people. It's like any business. It's all about...
John Beck, Jim Smith, these are great characters of the game. They must have been amazing time to be around them, really.
Well, it was a colourful time. And I think that, in some ways I'm I talk about it a lot with players from my era, and I know we all sort of reminisce, but I'm glad I was part of football then. It was very different. It felt a little bit more real at times. It was a tough upbringing, but I think you learn from that.
Yeah.
Everything moves on and everything evolves. But I like some of the things that were around then. Some of the sort of harsher side of it, the way that teams worked, the way that you had to earn your place, the way that you had to become an apprentice and earn the right to be a professional. It wasn't just given to you. You weren't driving a flash car at 18 because you played 10 games.
Yeah.
You had to earn your way. So I'm glad that I had that perspective, and I think in some ways it helps you a little bit when you start moving to the other side of the fence into coaching.
I wanted to ask you about that because you've been managing for about 14 years now, so maybe a bit longer. Yeah, about 14 years. So how's it changed? How's working with players changed in that period? Has it changed fundamentally or not? Has it become more difficult?
I think working with players essentially is quite similar in terms of you're dealing with different personalities. It's how you manage those personalities and get the best out of them. I think players now, because of the media exposure and social media, I think players expect a little bit more in terms of a detail around coaching. I think clubs have changed, and I think that's the biggest thing. If you look at when I first started, I was a manager.
Yeah.
That was the role that I was asked to do. So I was a manager. So you had your hand on lots of parts of the football club. Now it's very, very different. If you look at it, the way clubs work is very different. As you're now a head coach, and you're now really mainly focusing on the team rather than some of the cultural pieces that are important. Some of the culture, some people are happy with that.
Yeah.
Some people it's hard to get used to, because the game has changed and the job remit has changed.
Yeah. So does it feel? I mean, we had all this, didn't we, with Ruben Amorim recently, where there's that, when there is a hierarchy, when there is a structure, and there's a sporting director or whatever. I mean, has that become more difficult simply because you have to bow to a little bit of pressure from upstairs, maybe a bit more than before?
I think it depends on the strength of that structure.
Yeah.
I think when you see, structures like Brentford, like Brighton, that do it very, very well, that the head coach comes into that structure and he understands completely what it looks like. And the structure's there really to support the head coach and get the best out of the team. And some clubs do it really well. Some clubs, it feels like they don't from the outside. Of course, you don't know until you're on the inside. And also it depends what you've been asked to do. If you've been asked to go in as a manager and help the club, and then suddenly your remit really is more of a head coach halfway in, that becomes challenging and that becomes a lot different. So I think it's really how you sell that to the person.
So what are the sort of things that have dropped out then, do you think?
Well, I think, and some of it I agree with. Some of it I agree with. I think some of the big European clubs have been doing it really, really well on the continent for a long time. And culturally, they're used to it. Their directors of football are a lot more accountable. In Germany, they sit on the bench. They do interviews. So there's far more accountability with it. I think a lot of it, the obvious thing is recruitment, of course. Once upon a time, and I'm not saying this happened to me, but I speak to a lot of managers out there, but once upon a time, their eye for a player and how they fit into their system would have been important. Now the club provide the best options for those head coaches to coach. And, some of the staff as well, you used to be able to go in and take maybe 4 or 5 staff in with you and build a team. Now, often you're either going on your own or you maybe take one person in. And I understand that. I understand from a business perspective, the turnover when you get rid of, look, we're talking about probably a 9-month lifespan on average of a manager in the Championship, let's say.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of business sense to change then 5, 6, 7 members of staff every 9 months. So I get it. I understand it. But I think that's one of the big differences. And I think that's coming out in a few of the managers in the Premier League at the moment. There seems to be that little bit of frustration around perhaps how the structure works.
Yeah. Gary Rowett's with us in the studio. We're going to keep chatting very shortly. We're here as always with Toolstation. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next stop, Toolstation. 90 for 1 England currently. Route on 42, Ducket on 37. They need 272 to beat Sri Lanka in Colombo. And it's live this minute over on talkSPORT 2. going to get an update on the Sri Lanka-England one-day from Sam Ellard.
Sri Lanka posted 271 for 6 from their 50 overs. In reply, after 21 overs, England are 96 for 1. Zach Crawley went early for 6, chasing a wide delivery and edging behind. But the second wicket partnership for England is a good one, worth 84 runs. Joe Root loves batting in Sri Lanka, averaging 68 in ODIs and 66 in Tests in Sri Lanka. And he looks in good touch in Colombo, unbeaten on 44. Ben Duckett has 41. Ben Duckett coming into this series in really, really poor form. Struggling in the Ashes. He looked a little bit nervy early on against the seamers, but a spin from both ends now, and he looks a little bit more comfortable, sweeping very, very well. England just going off 4.5 runs and over. That required run rate is above 6 runs and over now, but England got lots of wickets in hand, and their number 10 and 11 today have 28 first-class hundreds between them. So England, at the moment, not taking too many risks, rotating the strike, putting away the bad balls, and are setting up this chase pretty nicely. 22 gone, England 97 for 1.
You, Sam. It's live over on talkSPORT 2.
This is how they get you, Paul. Isn't it? It's like, I'm now with this in the bag. This is in the bag. Easy peasy now.
Well, we know what England are like. Gary Rowett's with us. Gary, are you a cricket fan?
Yeah.
I played a little bit as a kid, but I probably haven't kept tabs with it as much as
we won't ask you about it then.
No, yeah. That sort of last job you did at Oxford was one of those red Adair jobs where you got to go in and you got 6 months to turn it round. I mean, I suppose they have their appeal, but being able to sort of set a culture and start in the summer and have a pre-season, I mean, is there anything... You can get a reputation for that, can't you? That you're the man they get in when they're in trouble.
Yeah, and I think I've probably ended up doing that, and in some ways it's kept me in the job for 10 years. So I'm not complaining, but it is a little bit more difficult. It's a completely different remit, I think, of just going in, impacting straight away. You haven't got to, I'm not one of these managers where, I think, it should take 5 or 6 games to build my style. You can't. You have to impact straight away in that position. But it also takes an awful lot of energy to keep trying to have to find different ways to get something different out of a group of players that, can't win necessarily games really easily, where sometimes you've got the best players, of course, you can play badly and still win a game on the quality of your players. So, it is a challenge, and that's definitely something.
What do you say first day, Gary? First new players, they're failing, they're bottom of the league. What's your first thing you say to them?
Yeah, I think, there's not one thing, but I think there's a series of things. I mean, you have to be very clear on what you need from them.
Yeah.
You have to be clear on the standards. You have to be clear on the style. You have to almost do the research beforehand so you know exactly what you're going to do when you go in. And then you have to build confidence. There's different ways of doing it. When I first went in at Birmingham, they'd lost 8-0 to Bournemouth. They didn't feel like they had a chance of staying up. I walked in, I wrote a league table up, and nobody had played any games, and and I said, listen, all I care about is where we finish in this table. And it was a gamble. If I probably wouldn't have shown that table if we'd have lost the first 3 games. But the fact that we won early on and we built performances, suddenly the team can start seeing a different type of ambition. And I think you've got to switch the mindset very quickly. Not easy to do that when a team are struggling near the bottom.
You don't get a lot of time now, as you were saying, 9 months on average. I mean, you had 4 years at Millwall, which is a gold watch these days, isn't it? So it is harder, isn't it? I mean, do you feel that sometimes clubs pull the trigger far too quickly?
Yeah, but you also understand the business, and you also understand, you're never too far away from the sack, and clubs can't allow that to. I think it's very easy to make the head coach or the manager completely accountable for everything. I think there's a lot of clubs out there that perhaps aren't run particularly efficiently, but it's easy then to throw the head coach under the bus and get rid of him. I don't think it's always quite as clear as you think it is, but when you go into this job, if it's longevity you're after, don't bother. Genuinely don't bother. So you understand the ups and downs. I've been sacked in a position where I'm doing a good job. So if I'm perhaps not doing a good job, I understand it. It doesn't sting quite as much. But it's the life.
How are you often told? I mean, is it all in different ways? Is it? Do you know? Do you know it's coming? They say, could you pop, Gary, just pop in the office.
Can I have 5 minutes after the game?
Yeah, but just after training.
Pop in a bit early this morning if you can before the players get in.
But do you know?
It's exactly that, in fairness. You get an inkling. What you tend to find is at most clubs, you start to sense a few little meetings in offices, doors closed. You sort of sense it a little bit, and you can people are slightly different with you. You can understand that, and it's happened to me a few times now. So I've seen different ways of doing it. Most clubs, in fairness, will do it to your face. I have heard of some instances where people have been sacked over the phone.
Wow.
And there are times when if you've got to do a 2-hour journey to get into work, you probably would rather get sacked over the phone. If you're going to do it, just do it. It doesn't really matter.
That's true.
But I think everyone does it differently. I've had no horror stories.
So you've not been blindsided by one? There wasn't one where you thought, really, I didn't see that coming?
But Birmingham a little bit, but there was stuff going on behind the scenes in the background. I'd be lying if I said I didn't completely sort of sense something. But that was probably the one where I was the most surprised. But then I made a decision to leave Derby in the summer, for different reasons. So you can't start complaining, can you? If you're going to leave a club and then you complain because the club does exactly the same thing to you, I think it's just part of the game.
Millwall have been knocking on the door for a while.
Doing very well this season.
They're doing very well again this season. What's Millwall's ceiling, Gary? Is there a Premier League club in there?
Well, I still message the owner from time to time. He's a great guy, absolutely brilliant. I think doing a brilliant job there. I think Alex Neil doing an absolutely sensational job as well. I'll be honest. If you look over 7 or 8 seasons since they've come into the Championship, I think if you look consistently, they've been knocking on the door of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 30 minutes away from it when we fell to Blackburn on the last game, and I think they're doing the same now. So I'll be honest, I think this could be the year that they can make it. I really hope they do. There will be people cowering in the corners, won't they, at the prospect of Millwall in the Premier League. I'd love to see it just for that alone.
We've played the talkSPORT trophy down there a few times, Paul, and they could not be nicer.
Oh,
they're a lovely club,
the fans,
great
the
community club. Yeah,
great, exactly what a football club should be. Right in the heart of its community. And exactly what it should be.
Well, it's one of those clubs, isn't it, that from the outside, it of course gets a bad rap, and if there's any hassle, they jump straight to Millwall because it's an easy sell media-wise. But when you're on the inside, it is a real family club. I mean, the amount of times there was a fundraising within the league, and Millwall fans have raised the most money. They will back another team, they'll back another club. They'll hate them if they're playing them the next game, but there is a real sense of something different there, and I think it is one of the sort of old bastions of.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not. It hasn't completely modernised, which I like.
Yeah. You would have coached against Liam Rosenior. There he is at Chelsea now. You would have come up against him at Hull. I mean, it is quite the story, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, I mean, it's lovely to see a young British manager getting an opportunity at that level, regardless of how it's come and whether you believe that his pathway has earned that job completely on merit. But he's worked at Strasbourg. It's their sister club. They know how he works. I've got to say, tactically, very, very good. I know a lot of people at Derby, even when he was there coaching with Wayne, he did a lot of the coaching. He's very, very studious, very well thought of. Of course, in the media as well with his work there also. Listen, I think it's going to be a tough job, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got to go in with his eyes open because Maresca's issues and the structure and,
Yeah, that type of club, unfortunately, can eat anyone alive, let alone a young...
And dealing with that type of ownership as well. But then he's done that, I suppose he's sort of done that at Strasbourg, but Chelsea's a different kettle of fish.
Absolutely. And look, there's no doubt that, they see him as a good fit because he understands their model. He understands what they want to do. So people saying that maybe he's a little bit of he's not a yes man, but he understands the model. They're not going to get friction from someone who's a big name but would want to come and imprint straight away. So it'd be interesting to see how it goes. I think we have to hope that people like that, Michael Carrick, they are successful because there's not enough young British managers in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And, I for one, would like to see that.
Finally, Gary, we were talking off air. You said you're enjoying life at the moment. I suppose never say never. I suppose it depends on the opportunity when it comes along. But there's other options, I guess.
Absolutely. Look, it's like anything. You can always be back in work if you want to be. That depends on what level that's at.
Yeah.
And I have a level that I feel as though I've enjoyed working out. I've got an idea of what perhaps the next one looks like. But I also love doing the media stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime that I can talk about the game, anytime I can watch the game. Yeah. I'm passionate about it. I absolutely love football like we all do, whether I'm a manager on the touchline or something else. I'm pretty open-minded, so looking forward to what's next.
Yeah. We've got that Alan Brazil Copacabana clip that you mentioned at the top that you like, so we'll play that for you now.
Right here, we're live from Rio de Janeiro, just a few yards from the Copacabana banner.
Copacabana, Ghana.
Not exactly Barry Manilow.
We haven't got the song as well, have we? I take it. No, we couldn't find the song.
A couple of texts come in. Andrew from Birmingham said he used to be your Ricardo delivery driver, Gary, and you used to tip him. So thank you very much.
That's nice.
That's nice, isn't it? Better than the other way around. And Robin Didcott says, thanks for everything at Oxford. Sorry to see you go, but at least you got Christmas at home.
Yes.
So that was nice. And do you think they'll stay in the Championship?
I think they'll have a good opportunity. I think they've made some good signings in the window, so I really hope they do. It's a good club, it's a good area, so fingers crossed.
He's getting that new stadium.
Well, good to see you, Gary.
Brilliant.
All the best for the future. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Gary Rowett there. Still to come this afternoon. We're off to Benidorm, where there's going to be an Anglo-Scottish invasion, and that's before the playoffs, because the World Cup's going to be so expensive in the States. Go and watch it in Benidorm instead, like they do Cheltenham. We'll talk about that. Tim Vickery joins us, but we're going to hear an over of our coverage from Sri Lanka in a few moments' time.
Our Slots Liverpool team finally taking shape. 13 games unbeaten and fourth in the Champions League table after a triumphant win out in Marseille.
That just gives us a glimpse of what could be possible going into the end of the season.
Ricky Lambert agrees with talkSPORT's Jermaine Pennant that Liverpool are more likely than Arsenal to be European champions.
Arsenal haven't won it. That is another hurdle that they have to get over as well. So I agree. I think the best chance of an English team winning the Champions League is Liverpool.
We understand Crystal Palace have spoken to Wolves about Jorgen Strand-Larsen. It's after Jean-Philippe Mateta says he wants to leave. Meanwhile, we're hearing Spurs value Mickey van der Ven at least 100 million. It's believed he wants out, but van der Ven's under contract until 2029. Now, Neil Warnock's told us it's not a done deal that Pep Guardiola will be off at the end of this season.
I don't think he will leave until he's successful again. He's got that bit between his teeth now, and he knows what people are saying or what the world is saying, and I think he'll wait now, and especially after the game like the other night, which was probably as bad as it gets.
Guardiola's never gone 2 years without winning something. And 17 years after they first appeared together in the third round at Melbourne, Stan Wawrinka, Novak Djokovic and Marin Cilic are still going strong out at the Australian Open. There's more at talksport.com.
So, as promised, we're going to join our commentary team over on talkSPORT 2, bringing the first one there between Sri Lanka and England. Roshan Abhisinger and Steve Harmus on your commentary team.
Being able to score hundreds all around the world, but for me, Joe Root has gone past Kevin Peterson. I think he is arguably the greatest that England have ever produced.
Yeah, that's high praise, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about, oh, that's good fielding as well. That is really good fielding. They'll come for three. This is good aggressive running by England. Nicely worked off his hips.
Yeah, good cricket all round as we welcome the talkSPORT listeners. England 123 for one off 26.1 overs. Joe Root's got 51 of 73 balls. Ben Duckett had a struggle at the start, is now just coming into his own, down the wicket, 6 in the last over, and there he moves on to 61 from 73. And England are building a nice partnership, a good platform. 271 the total, 272 is the target, the total, which I thought was a bit above par. England have got themselves into this game.
Here is Fernando coming in, Root on strike, and again, that's his speciality. Never really gets bogged down or tied down. He always just works the single, and as a bowler you'll agree how challenging and how annoying it could be when you just see that rotation of strike.
Absolutely, and especially when you look at the left and right hand combination. Joe Root to the seamer will come out of his crease and walk towards the seam bowler on a surface which isn't bouncing. And then Ben Duckett, left-hander, different angle, will steer back in his crease. So if you get the wrong length to either one, it's either a comfortable single, or if you do get the wrong length to Ben Duckett, potentially a boundary option.
That time didn't time it at all. Looked to hit it hard, Ben Duckett. Yeah, but just getting back to Root, I mean, I think it's high praise here. Kevin Peterson is one name, Graham Gooch is another. There are a few others, and I mean, people listening, if you have missed out Jeff Boycott, for example, I mean, humble apologies for that, because the list is so long. So you just remember the names that you kind of, can recall at the top of your head. So in that list, to have Joe Root right up there is a massive compliment.
It is. He's been a brilliant servant for English cricket, both with the bat when he was captain.
Fernando bowls, forcing it down to long on is Ben Duckett, and he gets a single.
I just think he's all-round cricket ambassador. There's a lot of talk about what happened in the Ashes and some of the off-field stuff that's been happening. I mean, this guy is the ultimate professional. I always, whenever we do the overseas commentaries, we're now starting on talkSPORT 2 to commentate. talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel, we're commentating on home series. I urge kids to come. If they're coming to a test match, come a little bit earlier and watch this kid practice. Joe Root practice. He goes through the same routine, hitting ball after ball after ball and getting himself in a position to play innings like this.
Nicely forced and good fielding. Good fielding at point. That is Pavan Ratnayaka. That was just short of a length. And loved the way Root gave himself space and also used his wrists.
Yeah, used his wrist, timed it perfectly. An excellent bit of fielding. I think Sri Lanka's ground fielding has been a lot better than England's. I thought England were a little bit sloppy. I wouldn't say they fielded badly. I just think they were a little bit sloppy. And I think Sri Lanka's ground fielding has backed up their bowlers. Whenever the bowlers bowled a good challenging delivery and it's gone to either side of a fielder, they've thrown themselves at it, and more often than not they've stopped it.
Last ball of the over. And Root pulls and pulls it well. That's in front of square, and that will run away to the boundary. That became far too easy. Fernando dropping it short, but just wondering whether he took pace off the ball because Root had so much of time. 27 overs done, 129 for 1. This is talkSPORT 2 and talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel.
Thank you, Rusho. Thank you, Steve. You came rather well, wasn't it? 129 for 1.
In the bag, Paul, no problem.
It's England. You can't say that, Charlie. Goodness sake. But so far, so good. Duckett on 62, Root on 56. Crawley went quite cheaply very early on, unfortunately.
Oh, how was he?
But there's plenty of batting to come. Yeah.
Was he wafting at one?
He was, yeah.
Oh, right, really?
So, we'll keep you in touch with that, of course, here on talkSPORT. And it's live, ball-by-ball commentary, currently over on talkSPORT 2 of this, and indeed the other 2 games in the series. But now, it's time for this.
Weekend preview on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. For more racing tips, check out their podcast, From the Horse's Mouth, with Ruby Walsh and our own Paddy Power. The podcast for racing fans, by racing fans. T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Ryan McHugh joins us once again from Paddy Power, with all the latest news and odds. Good afternoon, Ryan.
Yeah, good afternoon, lads. Hope you're both well.
Yeah, we had a big dump of rain, haven't we? And I think there's more to come. I'm sure that's going to affect the going and maybe some of the tips as well.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we can find a couple of winners. But as you said, plenty of rain getting into the ground at the moment. Once racing goes ahead, I suppose that's all we can hope for. So 8 races on ITV this Saturday, lads, from Doncaster and Cheltenham. High quality action as well, I should say. Cheltenham host an 8-race card with something different each race. Cross-country race, I'm going to start with the 150. Always a great race to watch. Although 7-4 is not usually a price I'd like to take in these types of races, I thought the favourite, Jariv the Left, should take a lot of beating. He looked in need of the course experience when finishing second to Final Orders, who re-opposes against him on Saturday. So I'm sure he'll be more streetwise this time around. And with a few pound weight swing in his favour with that rival, I thought he'd take plenty of beating Jariv the Left. It'd be great to see Gray Dawning back out in the Cotswolds chase at 225. He's a very short price to win that 4-runner contest. But I thought Spillane Tower, he's a much better horse than what we've seen of him this season so far. He may well give him a race of it. Jack Kennedy takes the ride on that horse. He's 1 from 1 on him when he's ridden him. I'm really looking forward to seeing a clash at 3 o'clock between Sergino and the New Lion. Could be one of the races of the weekend. At the current prices, I think the New Lion represents a little bit of value at 15-8. We haven't seen him since falling at the Fighting Fifth at Newcastle. But he has been given plenty of time by trainer Dan Skelton to get over that race. So I'm happy to take Sergino on with the New Lion in that one. Obviously, that'll have a massive impact on the champion hurdle betting in a couple of months' time at the festival. Over at Doncaster, the Great Yorkshire Chase is the feature race there with 10 going to post. I like the top weight in that, lads. Deep Cave for Christian Williams. He's looking to make it 4 wins on the bounce, having won at Ascot last time. The handicapper only raised him £2 for that win, and he looks to have plenty in his favour to continue his winning streak. But top class racing this weekend, lads, and some of the Cheltenham races on Saturday you don't want to miss.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ryan, as always. Thanks a lot. Ryan McHugh there from Paddy Power. If you want to keep up with all the latest racing news, Paddy Power's From the Horse's Mouth podcast is available every week, and you can download the latest podcast episode from your usual podcast provider now, 18+, begambleaware.org.
Weekend preview on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. For more racing tips, check out their podcast, From the Horse's Mouth, with Ruby Walsh and our own Paddy Power. The podcast for racing fans, by racing fans. T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
We have a review underway. Ben Duckett has called for. Charlie saying it's in the bag. Thanks. Sam Ellard's watching it all unfold. Where are we at with this, Sam, you think?
Yeah, when England lose 6 wickets for 50 runs, I'm going to blame you for everything, Charlie Baker, because England have just lost their second wicket. England 129 for 2. Ben Duckett goes for 62, looking to sweep, reverse sweep sweep, the leg spinner Van der Sar, who's just come back into the attack. Duckett missed the ball, it hits him, and it was given out on field. I think Joe Root convinced Ben Duckett to review it because he reviewed it and then started walking off. I don't think he thought it was missing, and it was hitting the middle of middle. So Ben Duckett would like to have seen England home and got to a 3-figure score, but after a wretched run of form in the New Zealand series before the Ashes and then into the Ashes series, it's good to see Ben Duckett, one of England's most important players across all formats, back in the runs. He goes for 62. The good news is that Joe Root is still with the crease unbeaten on 56. The new batter is Jacob Bethel. Of course, the last time he played for England, he scored that incredible Test match 100 in Australia. The key now for England is no collapse. Rebuild again, put another good partnership and chase down this target of 272. Into the 28th over, Bethel joins Root at the crease. England 129 for 2.
Excellent, thank you, Sam. Let's hope, we don't see that trademark collapse this afternoon. We're off to Benidorm next, where they're expecting an invasion of England, Scotland, possibly even more fans after the playoffs, to go and watch the World Cup there, because it's a whole lot cheaper than going to the States. So have they braced themselves for it? We'll speak to Colin Holm, who's the owner of the Winning Post Bar, infamous bar, sports bar in Benidorm. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station. Get winter ready with heating and insulation essentials. Next stop, Tool Station. And the latest episode of How to Win the World Cup is available now. Matt Ford and Alex Brooker, they speak to the French World Cup winner Manu Petit, who reveals that he had a premonition before the tournament that France would win the final at home against Brazil.
Oh, gosh, well done.
A long time ago, I said France would organize the World Cup in 1998, and then France will win the World Cup 2-0 against Brazil in final. When I said that, 10 years before that, in the press, people were looking at me, this guy is crazy.
So what, you'd said that?
Yeah.
You saw it coming?
We call that a premonition, right?
But you had a genuine premonition of it?
Yeah.
How, what, vivid?
Yeah.
Clear in your mind?
Even now, when I try to explain it, people think, what is he saying? This is the truth, this is reality, and there is a proof, in the newspapers, long time ago, before France was designed to organize the World Cup. So this is the proof that it was not meant after the organization, it was before that.
He got the score wrong, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
he said it was going to be 2-0. So there we are. He probably thought, he wasn't going to score that third goal. But there we are. That is Manu Petit, Alex Brooker, Matt Ford. Don't forget to head over to the talkSPORT YouTube channel or listen on the talkSPORT app. So, yes, we're off to Benidorm now.
Oh, that's nice.
Where I think we've seen in the past that there's a mass exodus. Because as the prices have gone up, certainly at the Cheltenham Festival, more and more people have just decided to go there and have a much cheaper week.
Yeah.
Catching a bit of sun and watching the
Few
racing.
beers.
This summer, there is an expectation of a mass turnout of football fans who want to go there and watch the World Cup. So England and Scotland fans will be heading out there. And as we say, via the Plough, hopefully more as well.
Yeah.
Joining us now, Colleen Holmes, the owner of the Winning Post Bar in Benidorm, where I almost certainly stopped off for a pint when I was there a couple of years ago on my mate's stag do.
Very nice.
Hello, Colleen.
Hello, Colleen.
Hi.
So, how are you feeling about this World Cup? Have they been talking about it, all the owners of the bars around there?
Yeah, there's excitement building. Lots of bars of, doing refurbishments, big screens going up around the town. People are getting ready for it, definitely.
Yeah, it's. Look, it's great for business. Let's hope everybody behaves themselves. That's the key, isn't it?
Well,
Because-
there is that. We have got a bit of a bad reputation as British when we've had a few drinks down us with the football.
And I suppose they're different to a racing crowd, aren't they? Really, I would imagine.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they can definitely get more rowdy, the football fans, as opposed to, the Cheltenham fans, definitely.
Yeah, how does it work for Cheltenham? I'm seeing pictures on our screen at the moment of people in shirts saying, I like beer and horse racing, people dressed as horses, people in jockey silks. Looks a lot of fun, Colleen.
Cheltenham is crazy in Benidorm now. I mean, since COVID, it's just gone absolutely crazy. It's just got bigger and bigger each year.
But you've always had a bit of a racing pedigree. I was reading your dad was a bookie, wasn't he? And you have a sports book.
Man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was he?
And you have a sports book in the pub, don't you? You have your own. You run one, yeah.
Yes. So we've been popular because we just show all the sports. So we're not we don't turn it into a karaoke bar in the evening. We are just a sports bar. When a lot of bars try and get everything out of it, we are just sports.
I suppose it is good for you bar owners, isn't it? That the price, the ticket prices, travelling there, getting visas, all the issues that people are going to find in the States are going to make it a whole lot easier just to jump on a plane and go to Spain.
Well, that's it, yeah. And with the time difference as well, there's no set time when you can not have a drink in Benidorm. So where that's going to, encourage people to come here as well.
Yeah. I think I've been reading there is a slight concern, as you said, that, there could be a few clashes. There's only so much you can do. So I imagine there'll be a pretty decent police presence out and about when they're to make sure everybody behaves themselves.
Yeah, they do step up the police presence now, yeah, that for sure.
How many times a day do you think you hear Sweet Caroline, Colleen?
Oh, yeah, quite a lot.
I think you should run a book. You should run a book.
On how many times?
On the strip. On the strip.
You walk up and down the strip. That's
that
right.
song certainly gets the crowd going, for sure.
It really does, yeah.
So what's to whet people's appetites? What's the going rate for a pint then in Benidorm these days, would you say?
€2.
€2 for a local pint. You're not going to get that in America.
We always say,
no, definitely not.
We always say, Colleen, that you go on holiday, people go, how was it? Oh, it was great, €2 a pint.
Yeah, people always say that.
First thing people say.
First thing they say.
Bad holiday, and not £8 a pint in Norway.
Yeah, that's it.
No, we don't want to do it.
Well, there was a guy from City Fan earlier on with Jim and Simon Boda Glimt, and he said I had a great trip. He said I saw the Northern Lights, which was brilliant. He said, but it was 15 quid a pint. So that was that was the downside of it. Well, we hope it all goes well for you, Colleen, during the World Cup. Let's hope everybody behaves themselves. And Cheltenham, we got Cheltenham coming up soon, haven't we?
Yeah, 7 weeks, is it?
Yeah. We'll be there. We go there to work, so sadly we won't make it.
Very hard work.
I was going to say you could pop in and I'd buy you a pint.
Well, I'll go over. I could do it from there.
You can do it from there, Charlie.
Have me over there for the week. That'd be a nice idea. That'd be nice, Colleen.
Yeah, do it.
See ya.
Live from Colleen's bar. Thank you, Colleen. Thanks very much.
No problem.
There we are.
Take care.
Colleen Holm there from the Winning Post Bar in Benidorm.
Yeah, nice. I didn't know they had bars in Benidorm, Paul.
You not been?
Not been to Benidorm, Paul.
Yeah, I hadn't been.
Sure. I like the sitcom.
I went when I was a kid, about 1970 or something, when I was very young.
Oh, love. Was it the same then?
No, it was I think it was quite different then. But no, I went about 3 years ago.
Do I need to be able to speak Spanish?
No, I think you'll get by. I think you'll get by. You can learn some British dialects.
I don't like Spanish food, Paul, so I think I'd struggle.
Oh, yeah. You like chips, you'll be all right.
I like chips. Oh, yeah.
It's got a fantastic beach. The old town's very different from the new town. As well. The old town, you wouldn't know where you were. You could be anywhere in Spain.
No,
the Strip is an experience.
It's not. There's other places I think I want to go first.
Yeah.
I'm not a snob, Paul. I don't think
it sounds like you are. So, still to come.
Is there a Benidorm FC? Do they have a football team?
They've got local teams, yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
maybe I'll go.
We must do. I've always wanted to do a documentary.
Should do a show from there. That'd be a good week
with Andy, who is a snob.
Take Andy.
Take Andy to some of the shows in the evening.
I don't want egg and chips again.
Yeah. Andy Brassel.
Which shows are you taking Andy to in the evening?
Yeah.
Does it rhyme with Vicky, Paul? No.
We'll leave it, Jolly. Andy Brassel. Andy Brassel's going to join us very shortly.
And it's live.
And it's live. Yeah, that is. Anyway. Andy's going to join us to look at some of the European opposition tonight and other matters besides. Tim Vickery is South America. We might have some transfer news from South America, it seems. I think Bournemouth are going to do a bit of business from South America. A young striker. We'll find out more about that. And a birthday spread, of course. That's all to come in the final hour. birthday spread coming up in half an hour's time. Before that, though, Tim Vickery live from Rio. And looking at some of the European games this evening and the quality of the opposition with Andy Brassel. That's after Tom Clayton with the sports headlines.
Talk Sport.
Well, thank you. Good afternoon. England's best chance of a Champions League winner is Liverpool and not Arsenal. That's according to the former Red striker Ricky Lambert. Liverpool have all but confirmed a top 8 spot after that win in Marseille, and Lambert says the return of Mo Salah is only a good thing.
The fact that we seen him yesterday, Slot literally said he's starting. I just hope that he can get back scored. He had a good chance yesterday, which wasn't like him, so hopefully a goal on Sunday will get him going again.
We could see all 6 English teams reach the top 8 after the league phase. Good news for the prestige of English football and each of the clubs involved. But Simon Jordan says for Newcastle, it's not just about reputation.
No, it gives them money, which gives them a lustre in the eyes of players that they might be able to sign next year if they've got a bit more bandwidth inside their PSR.
Forest and Villa are in Europa League action tonight. Villa on talkSPORT 2 at 5:45. Forest on talkSPORT from 8. Bournemouth's runners having the smallest Premier League stadium may be coming to an end. They've been granted planning permission on expansion plans, and England are gradually clawing their way to their target of 272 for the win in Sri Lanka. Watching his talkSPORT, Sam Ellard.
144 for 2 into the 32nd over. Root and Duckett put on 117 for the second wicket after Crawley fell cheaply early, but Duckett just got out for 62, trying to reverse sweep Van der Sey. Joe Root still at the crease, unbeaten on 61. Jacob Bethel just arriving unbeaten on 7. We've got an exciting finish here in Colombo. England needing 131 runs from 112 balls.
talkSPORT News.
Volodymyr Zelensky shared concerns that NATO only exists thanks to the belief that the US will act. And it's Liz Hurley's turn to give evidence in the privacy case against the Daily Mail's publisher. More of the news team at 5:30.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Whatever the weather, our range of services is longer than the queue at the Chippy on a Friday night. Tyres, MOTs, brakes and more. Book today at quickfit.com.
Wet and windy in the north of England and in Scotland with amber rain warnings for central Scotland. A few brighter spots further south, but a few odd showers still.
For Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
Yes, the Super Bowl is just a few weeks away, and we're sending one of you and a mate to San Francisco on the 6th of February to see it live. Flights, 3 nights in a hotel, spending money, and 2 seats at the game. It's the biggest event in sport, and we're sorting the whole thing for you. But this is it. The competition closes today at 4 p.m. That's in 1 hour's time. So get your entry in now, and here is how to do that. For your chance to win, text WIN, W-I-N, to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Lines close today at 4 p.m. That's in an hour. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Yeah, all the very best.
Good luck with that.
Now,
the NFL's great, Paul. I watched it at the weekend. I watched the playoffs at the weekend. Really, really good.
Enjoyed it?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, we've got more football this evening here on talkSPORT. We've got Fenerbahce versus Villa, the early kickoff, 6:15. Braga, that's on talkSPORT too, and Braga v Forest at 8 o'clock. Joining us now to look at those games and some other big talking points from European football is Andy Brassel. Good afternoon, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Yeah,
I'm sure, as a man who watches a lot of Portuguese football, you've been to Braga's stadium. It is, I mean, if the Forest fans have not been, they're in for a treat. It's a quirky stadium, isn't it? Tell us why.
Yeah, it is. So it's called the Quarry for a reason. It's in an old quarry, essentially. So you have 2 stands, one at either side of the pitch, and you have a sort of hill at one end and what looks like a cliff face at the other. Now, look, I know how privileged we are doing the jobs we do. It's wonderful going to the stadium in the first place. Those Forest fans out there are lucky anyway. But I've got to tell you, the best bit is actually if you're behind the scenes, because if you go in for work and you take the lift up from, you enter on, I think it's level 2, -2 or 3, and you take a glass elevator up through it into level 3 where the press stand is, and it feels like you're going up through the center of the earth because you've got quarried rock all behind you.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
Wow, wait.
They're in pretty good shape at the moment, aren't they? I mean, they're 7th in the group, so they're looking to consolidate, make sure they haven't got to play any more matches. Forest, though, they're on 11 points. They could work their way into, and they won't want 2 more games. So it should be a pretty decently contested match, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be. And I guess one of the things that's always overlooked about Braga as well is that the pressure there is really intense, because they have quite an explosive president in Antonio Salvador. You're not getting away with 5 bad results in a row there. And they have been off it in the league this season. They're almost the 4th team in Portugal behind the traditional big 3 of Porto, Sporting and Benfica. So this is a massive deal to them. And remember, they were finalists in 2011 too.
Yeah. Also, Fenerbahce is an interesting one as well. That should be some atmosphere this evening for the Villa game. Villa going very well in the group. What do you make of that one tonight, Andy?
Well, Fenerbahce have played really, really well these last couple of months. They've closed the gap at the top of the Super League to 1 point behind Galatasaray, who've had a bit of a rougher trot of late. Fenerbahce have played the best football in Turkey over the last little while. And the fact that I think Marco Asensio is at the heart of it is obviously really key. He was so good for Villa last season, and I think it's a real shame they didn't hang on to him, because genuinely he was one of the best players in the Premier League in the second half of the league last season. So that was a shame for them. But what they've really lacked, and what they're going out for in this transfer window, is a striker they can hang their hat on. So that's why they're throwing everything they can at a Marmoush or a Jean-Philippe Mateta or whoever they can get their hands on. They won't be outbid in terms of wages, let me tell you that, because bear in mind they've got John Duran, former Villa player, of course, who's only started 6 games in the Super League, which is really the issue for them. They haven't really been able to get him fit on a regular basis. When he's good, obviously he's explosive. You know, Villa fans don't need telling that, but their finances are such that they're paying him the full whack of his Saudi wages while he's on loan from Al Nassr. So this is a really well-backed project, and Domenico Tedesco is actually coaching them really well.
We were talking early on to Henry Winter about the dominance of the Premier League sides at the top of the Champions League table, Henry. Not the case really with the British sides in the Europa League, although Villa are, joint top really on 15 points. It's not gone quite so well for Forest, Celtic or Rangers.
But there are 2 halves to that, really, Paul, I suppose. Because firstly, there are less English/British sides in the Europa League in the first place. I think the other thing is, and you've seen with like Strasbourg finishing top of the Conference League table, with Lyon as stands being top of the Europa League table, and bear in mind, they've sold a lot of forward talent, including Lacazette, Cherki, Mikotadze in the summer. And they've not really had a striker to speak of. But since the reformatting of the Champions League, the Europa League is way weaker. There's no getting away from that. Yeah. And so for a team from France to win it, or a team from Portugal or somewhere else to win it, or Turkey, it's not completely out of left field, I don't think. And I think Lyon, wherever they finish in this, and they'll finish in the top 8, wherever they finish in this, they're a genuine contender for this. Bear in mind that they're not allowed to play their new signings. Everyone's not allowed to play their new signings yet, because it's still the group stage. You won't be able to play them until the knockouts. Remember, Lyon have signed Endrick. So they've added Endrick to a really good team. He has looked unbelievable in the first couple of weeks. They're a genuine shot for this.
When we were chatting to Henry about it earlier on, we had a good look down the table for the Champions League, and it is dominated at the moment, the top 8 or so, by the Premier League sides. But Andy, are you expecting a Premier League side to win it this year? You watch obviously a lot of European games right across the continent, or not? I mean, are you still got a very strong feeling for Bayern or Real, etc.?
I have a strong feeling for Bayern, not so much for Real Madrid. I just don't think they're built in a way that makes you win the Champions League at the moment. They can't defend well enough. I think you look at their previous wins and they sort of lean on having outstanding individuals. I don't think their outstanding individuals are necessarily better than the outstanding individuals that PSG, Barcelona, Arsenal, Bayern have. So I think that really makes a difference as well. I think the other thing we have to look at is, because when we look at Bayern and Arsenal, this is something I was saying on the Continent pod earlier, the fact that you look at the top teams and you think, okay, well, Liverpool were by far, if not the best team, really close to it in the league stage last year. And then they got cut off by PSG at the last 16 stage, and maybe that could happen all over again. But there is a difference this time, because not only is finishing in the top 8 worthwhile, finishing in the top 4 or the top 2 is really worthwhile, because if you finish in the top 4, you're guaranteed a second leg at home throughout the knockouts until the quarterfinal. If you finish in the top 2, and so this is Arsenal, for example, they are guaranteed the second leg of a knockout at home all the way. So including up to and including the semi-finals. I think that matters.
No, absolutely.
That's a good
and we shouldn't forget that, what was it, 15th PSG were when they went on to win it.
Yeah.
So there's, 15th currently Juve. So there's there are sides that could still come. We've seen that the knockout stages, it changes drastically, doesn't it?
It does, Paul. But I think the difference between this season and last season, you had no one really knowing what was a good number to get through. No one knowing what was a good number to get top 24, and no one knew what was a good number to get top 8 last season. Everyone knows that this season. And those clubs that had a little teeter last season, like Manchester City, like particularly Paris Saint-Germain, as you pointed out, they came out the blocks really fast this time. They were like, there's no way we're going to be mucking about in 15th, 16th and playing those extra games and wondering if we're going to even qualify. So I think there's quite a big difference. If you look at the teams that are on the cusp at the moment, like 24th, 25th, if you look at Monaco, Marseille, Napoli, who are 25th at the moment, so the one place outside, do they really inspire the same fear amongst us as a PSG or a Real Madrid? I think not.
I suppose it's what you concentrate on as well, isn't it? If you need to concentrate on the league, if you're getting pelters in the league every week, then the Champions League becomes unimportant to you. And conversely, with Bayern Munich, if you're running away with the league, then you can really put your eggs in the Champions League basket.
Maybe you can say that, but on the other hand, I think you look at where Barcelona are at the moment, and they're one of the contenders. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Now, we can look at the fact that Arsenal and Bayern are up and away in their domestic leagues. Part of that is just because they're outstanding teams having an outstanding season in both their individual cases. But you look at Barcelona, who to me feel like the best side in Spain by a long way. They're 1 point clear at the moment, one point clear of Real Madrid. That's not going to stop them having a proper pop at this.
Just finally, you mentioned Napoli just outside the frame at the moment. It's happening again to Conte, isn't it? I mean, consider a man who's won so much, so many clubs domestically, how he struggles in Europe.
No, my good friend David Cartledge describes him as a one-game-a-week manager. And it's cruel, but it's not unreasonable, is it? They've got a lot of injuries at the moment, despite the fact they really replenished their squad in the summer. They've been very, very unlucky with injuries, or conversely, maybe Conte doesn't know when to step off. But I can't believe it's ever going to happen to him for him in this competition. You look at not just the fact that he's managed a lot of games in this competition, he's managed a lot of big clubs. One quarterfinal with Bayern in 2013, and that is a lifetime ago in European football terms. Although after the Marseille-Liverpool game last night, we were discussing earlier, maybe Roberto De Zerbi in a European context is, your next Antonio Conte in European football. Of course, he does it without winning the domestic leagues, which is a bit of a drawback. But if you look at De Zerbi, you think, oh, well, he's fairly inexperienced at this level. But you say it season after season after season, and his teams fall well short of where they should be in European competition. Marseille have been well backed, and they were way off it against Liverpool, I thought, last night.
Andy, thank you. We'll catch up with you Monday.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you, guys.
Andy will be back Sunday night with Danny Kelly for Trans Europe Express and a Euro roundup with us on Monday. And you can catch everything that happened from last night's Champions League action in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Adrian Durham with Stuart Pearce, Dean Ashton and Alex Crook with all the fallout. That's available on all podcast platforms now. We're going to just get you updated with the cricket between Sri Lanka And England have lost another wicket. Sam Ellard has the details.
Yeah, massive moment for Sri Lanka because it is Joe Root that goes for 61. Ducky and Root pulled 111 for the second wicket. Both go in quick succession and both out sweeping. Joe Root tried to sweep Dananjaya De Silva, who went around the wicket. Root was hit on the pad. It was actually given not out on field. Sri Lanka did review. Maybe the umpire thought it was pitching outside the leg stump. No, it wasn't. It was in line and the ball was crashing into the stumps. So the captain, Harry Brook, comes to the crease. He's 2 not out. Jacob Bethel has faced 24 balls, 9 not out. This wicket is not easy to get in on. It's slow. There's a little bit of spin. So England need 126 runs from 96 balls. They've got 7 wickets in hand, which is the good thing. But that required run rate is starting to go up and up and up. It's nearly at 8 now. Brook and Bethel have got work to do. England needing 126 runs from 96 balls.
Thank you, Sam. It's all unfolding live on talkSPORT 2 currently for commentary of this one and indeed the other 2 one-dayers. But we're going to head off to Brazil next. Tim Vickery brings us all the latest from South America, where there could be some business done before the window closes, players heading into the Premier League and beyond. And we'll find out more about Rayan, who Bournemouth look like they're just about to land, 19-year-old Vasco striker. Too much, too young, or is he the real deal? We'll find out, Bournemouth fans, from Tim in a few moments' time. We're here with Tool Station. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Tool Station. Yes, time to head to Rio to get the very latest on the world of South American football from Tim Vickery. Good afternoon, Tim.
Afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you,
Not
Tim.
too bad, thanks, Tim. Looking as dapper as ever.
Oh, that's
so well. He
fine,
puts
mate.
us to
Must
shame.
have somewhere to go.
Puts us to shame. Let's start with Rayan for the Bournemouth fans. At 19, striker, and it looks like he's on his way to Bournemouth. So what are they getting?
Yeah, it certainly does. I mean, Vasco had a big game last night, the big local derby against Flamengo, and he didn't play because he is on his way to the South Coast. He wants to be on the South Coast in January. He wants to trade high summer in Rio for the South Coast.
Very similar, Tim. It's very similar vibe.
I'm sure it is. Well, it is very, very cold today here, actually, and blustery and rainy. So understand his dilemma.
Yeah.
What are they getting? They're getting he's a strapping figure. He's like a building with feet, Hayan, who left-footed, has played most of his football so far wide right, cutting in, more of a striker than a kind of dancing feet winger. And towards the end of last season, he was playing up front as a kind of centre forward. He had a great season last year. He was one of the top goal scorers in the Brazilian Championship. So unlike a few who've come recently, on Alisson at Gremio, or even people who haven't come off, Luis Guilherme at West Ham, who they've unloaded, Gustavo Nunes at Brentford, he's coming on more than promise. However, for what it's worth, my opinion is the same as the opinion of the coach who's saying goodbye to at Vasco. I wish he'd have come a year later, because I think he is still a little bit raw, especially with his back-to-goal game. And he's obviously done his homework, and he is well aware that Bournemouth have a terrific record in developing talent and then selling it on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bournemouth fans, but I don't think he wants to spend his entire career on the South Coast. He's got Evan Nilsson there to kind of help bed him in a little bit. And he is, I mean, physically, he's going to have no problems whatsoever. So I think it's an exciting signing. I wish it had probably happened 6 months or maybe a year later, but that's the way the market goes. And the thing that has clinched this deal is it's what the player wants. He wants the move now. He's a young man in a hurry, and hopefully everything's going to work out for him at Bournemouth.
Yeah, interesting. You see him as that sort of Semenyo replacement from what you've said. Then you can see why.
Yeah, he's as I say, he's less of a kind of up the wing speed merchant winger, and more of a kind of hybrid cutting in striker who's very, very strong. So I don't see him exactly as a like for like replacement, but I do think that there's a lot of promise there.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Lucas Paquetá, where are we at with that at the moment? Is that edging closer for a return home?
Yeah, edging slowly closer. Flamengo tried to speed it up this week. Their president was back from holidays, so he authorised the official transfer bid came in. Last night, the director of football spoke, and he said this is the first and last time he's going to speak about it. And he said that there's two problems. One, he said, is there's a problem over the money, which I don't think is so much. It's not just the amount; it's how it can be parcelled up. How they can do this on tick. On that, they have got the money, Flamengo, but it would be a complex deal, and it would need to be worked out carefully. But the other, he kind of let slip in the interview. West Ham aren't convinced on selling him.
Right.
Now, I think there are three different actors in this. You know, there's a player, Flamengo, and West Ham. Paquetá wants now. And part of that is running away from a place which has become unhappy to him. But also he wants to, and Flamengo is a fabulous platform for him to make sure that it'll be at least in the squad and with a chance of being in the team in the World Cup. So he wants now. From a Flamengo point of view, I think now doesn't matter that much to them. The Brazilian window goes on to early March. So they could sign him early March. If they have to wait till then, no problem. If they have to wait till the summer, no problem. I don't think they're in that much of a hurry. The business end of the Brazilian season is the second half of the year. And then there's West Ham. And at the moment, I would imagine the money is a little bit secondary for West Ham. And they've just recouped some of what they paid out on Luis Guilherme. And what they really want is a player who's going to help them avoid relegation.
Yeah.
Now, so if they're going to sell him, are they going to be able to bring someone in the limited time available who can't be a punt? It's got to be a sure thing, you know, to come in and help them avoid relegation. If they can't have that, it really isn't in Paquetá's interest to down tools and throw a sulk, because that would jeopardise his World Cup chances.
Yeah.
So one possibility here is West Ham saying to Paquetá, look, you can go into some, we'll make it easy for you. but please dig us out of this relegation hole. So the three players here are moving on different timelines, and we'll have to see how this all emerges.
Liverpool could be about to spend some pretty serious money on an Ecuadorian defender, couldn't they, Tim?
Well, yeah, I kind of hope so. I kind of flagged this one up in the summer, and I was surprised it didn't go through then. And a couple of weeks ago, the Ecuadorian press was saying it's almost a done deal, and it seems to have gone very quiet. His name is Joel Ordóñez. He plays for Bruges in Belgium, and he plays for the Ecuadorian national team. He's only 21. He's a really top-class defender. He comes from the same club that developed Hincapié, now at Arsenal, and Pacho at Paris Saint-Germain. And he plays in the Ecuadorian defensive line with them. I mean, he's a centre-back. For Ecuador, sometimes he's been coming in at right-back. He's not quite as physical as either Hincapié or Pacho, but he's tall and he's quick. He's classy. I mean, he came in for the last 8 rounds of World Cup qualifiers, in which Ecuador conceded 1 goal.
Right.
So it's a terrific defensive unit, and he is a part of that defensive unit at the age of only 21. I'm surprised there's not a bidding war going on with Premier League clubs for him. Why has it suddenly seemed to have gone a little bit quiet? I wonder if this is Bruges thinking, well, let's try and keep him for next week while we try and get a place in the later stage of the Champions League.
Right.
But surely sooner rather than later he's destined for the Premier League. And Liverpool would seem to be a club who need him now. They've missed out on Mark Gay and would seem to be a good fit.
Just a quick one. Bolivia took on Panama, one of England's World Cup opponents.
Oh, yeah.
What did you make of them, Tim?
Don't write them off. I mean, Panama took a B team to Bolivia and came off with a 1-1 draw. Remember Costa Rica? In 2014, in the group with Italy, Uruguay, England, 3 world champions. They make up the numbers, don't they? Making up the numbers, Costa Rica. They end up topping the group and getting all the way through to the quarters. Panama are not going to do that, but they're not mugs. The coach will be known to you, Thomas Christiansen, the kind of Danish Spaniard who was had a brief do at Leeds United nearly a decade ago. But I think he's a good coach, and I think they've got some interesting players, especially to hit you on the counter-attack with. They got the experience of their first World Cup, which was in Russia 2018. This will be a little bit less, I think, awe-inspiring for them. They're not going to win it. They probably won't make too much progress, but don't write them off as complete mugs.
Excellent. Tim, we're out of time. I'll catch up with you next week.
Tim.
Look forward to it. Cheers.
Tim Vickery there on the World of
I'm going to write him off as complete mugs, Paul.
Write him off. Just go, Charlie, it's good you did. You also said England would just coast to victory in this game against Sri Lanka. Let's check in once again with Sam Ellard. Sam, what's happening?
Another one.
2 wickets in the space of a couple of overs, and this is looking awful for England, who are 158 for 5. Jacob Bethel has just been stumped for 15 by Welle Lager, the left-arm spinner. Bethel coming down the track, looking to work the ball into the offside. He got nothing on it and is stumped. In the previous over, Harry Brook for 6 was stumped as well. Asalanka, the bowler. Brook, like Jacob Bethel, coming down the track. This ball spins sharply down the leg side, and again the keeper Kusal Mendes with really good work. So now it feels a long time ago that England were 129 for 1 and going along nicely. They're now 158 for 5, and what did we say when that 111 run partnership was broken between Root and Duckett? They needed to rebuild, they needed to keep it together, and this has been an awful England collapse from 129 for 1 to 158 for 5. Josh Butler unbeaten on 2. Sam Curran's going to come to the crease now, and the required run rate is over 9 runs and over, on albeit a deck that's spinning and doing a bit. But England in these final 12 overs are going to have to pull off something pretty special if they're to chase down the target of 272. It's Butler and Curran at the crease, England needing 114 runs from 75 balls.
Thank you, Sam. All your fault, Charlie.
Completely my fault. I do apologise.
Anyway, birthday spread is up next.
That rubbish. Still
Andy
playing
Jacobs and Jeff Peters joining us. That's coming up very shortly.
Slot's Liverpool team finally taking shape. 13 games unbeaten and 4th in the Champions League table after a triumphant win out in Marseille.
That just gives us a glimpse of what could be possible going into the end of the season.
Ricky Lambert agrees with talkSPORT's Jermaine Pennant that Liverpool are more likely than Arsenal to be European champions.
Arsenal haven't won it. That is another hurdle that they have to get over as well. So I agree. I think the best chance of an English team winning the Champions League is Liverpool.
We understand Crystal Palace have spoken to Wolves about Jorgen Strand Larsen. It's after Jean-Philippe Mateta says he wants to leave. Meanwhile, we're hearing Spurs value Mickey van der Ven at least 100 million. It's believed he wants out, but van der Ven's under contract until 2029. Now, Neil Warnock's told us it's not a done deal that Pep Guardiola will be off at the end of this season.
I don't think he will leave until he's successful again. He's got that bit between his teeth now, and he knows what people are saying or what the world will be saying, and I think he'll wait now, and especially after the game like the other night, which was probably as bad as it gets.
Guardiola's never gone 2 years without winning something. And 17 years after they first appeared together in the 3rd round at Melbourne, Stan Wawrinka, Novak Djokovic and Marin Cilic are still going strong out at the Australian Open. There's more at talksport.com.
Time then for the birthday spread.
Oh, no.
England have lost another wicket. That'll get Andy in a good mood. 10 birthdays. It's the job of myself and Charlie to try and guess how old these players. A Cork and Bowl card.
What a shot was that?
Yeah, there's some terrible shots today. Brooks was appalling. Let's just go to Sam very quickly. Another terrible shot, Sam.
Yeah, woeful from 129 for 1 to 164 for 6. This has been an awful collapse from England. It's the left arm spinner Weller Lager that comes into Sam Curran, who tries to back away to the leg side, and then I'm guessing his intention would have been to try and work it somehow into the offside, but all he can do is give it straight back to the bowler. Granted, this pitch is turning and doing it a bit, but some of these England shot selections have been nowhere near good enough. England are going to lose this game of cricket. 164 for 6. They need 108 runs from 64 balls.
Andy Jacobs has, thank you, Sam. Andy Jacobs has collated these birthdays, of course. We won't know them all. Some we will, some we won't. Good afternoon, Andy.
Hello,
Enjoying
Andy.
the cricket?
It's pathetic, isn't it? Honestly, I actually don't know why we just stopped playing cricket. We're just not good enough. I think we're the worst country in the world at virtually every sport, but definitely cricket.
Yeah.
We're the worst country in the world at every sport.
We're just useless lately, aren't we? Absolutely.
I'm not sure that
useless.
stands up to any great scrutiny.
God, the cricket. Honestly, come home now. Get it.
Come on now.
Brooke,
Sounds like Sir Geoffrey.
honestly, he'll never be a captain, Brooke, if he lives to be 1,000.
That was a nut shot.
He was 1,000 and still playing. I don't think he'd be.
Anyway, Jeff Peters keeps score for. Good afternoon, Jeff.
It's a very happy birthday to Harry Brook, who's 1,000.
Yes, yeah.
Carry on.
Good afternoon to you, everybody.
Hello, Jeff.
Paul has won both contests so far this year, and his overall run is 3 in a row.
Okay, well, that means I'll kick us off. We alternate, so there's no skullduggery. Well, there could be skullduggery. Here we are then. The first birthday is Pele and Sergio Mendes.
Sounds like someone who does skullduggery.
It's the fabulous darts player Luke Littler.
Yeah.
And we were playing golf together, actually, and Luke kept driving out of bounds or into water hazards. He was down to his last Titleist. Yes, Littler only had one ball.
Oh,
that's nice.
Very nice.
Now, when Luke was a toddler,
Topper.
His dad told me that he'd go on and become world champion. I said, "Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Littler?"
Oh yeah. It's sort of the same joke as Andy did, isn't it?
It is really.
In many ways, same joke but worse.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Fair enough.
It's nothing to do with it. It's completely different.
It's not.
Well, he was 17 when he won it. This is the first time. He's 19, isn't he?
This is a shame. He is 19. I'm not allowed to say 19.
You can.
You can both.
You're not allowed to say the same age.
You can say 19.
Of course you
You
can. If you know that's his age.
I know that he's 19.
Well, say that.
Well, I'll just say the same age as you every single time we play the game. And then what's the point?
Well, no, this is different. You know it, and I know it.
I know it. He's 19.
How old is he, Andy?
19.
Yeah,
19.
What a pointless start.
He didn't think about the game. He just thought about his joke there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's the scores, Jeff?
It's 0-0.
0-0. Okay, on to birthday number 2.
Okay, the fine.
Time.
Shut up. The fine actor and performer. Really, honestly, I'm going to go home if you keep doing this.
You are
I shall shut down all my equipment.
You are home.
I shall turn off all my equipment.
Oh, blimey, that's about time.
Well, I'll come round
before the nurse does. Right, second birthday, Andy.
It's the actor and singer from Some Others Do Have 'Em and The Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Great Michael Crawford.
I mean,
and he's a Chelsea fan, Michael. I was watching a Barnsley-Chelsea Cup tie with him in 2004. Anyway, Barnsley were on top when Kevin Betsy missed an open goal, and Michael couldn't resist. Ooh, Betsy.
Ooh, Betsy. He does all the impressions. It's the only one of the few impressions Charlie does is quite good, actually.
I like that Liam Rossinia.
Yes, good. Yes, good. That's really good.
I like his glasses. He made me wear a sticker on my forehead, Betty.
How old is he, Charlie?
It's a waste of half an hour in a kid's game.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Michael Crawford.
Michael Crawford.
Michael Crawford.
Brilliant in Hello, Dolly.
Oh, yeah.
Just see him in that. He's brilliant in that. I'd have no idea. 78.
I think he might be a bit older than that there.
Really?
Why not? 83.
84.
Oh. So what's that done to scores, Jeff?
Standard. Get your standard.
So, Charlie.
Evening, Harold.
All the late winners in the half times. And birthdays.
Just a good guess.
Get your standard.
What's the scores, Jeff?
So Charlie is 6 out onto 6, Paul 1 out onto 1. I went for a drive in a special edition Rolls Royce with Michael.
Yeah.
The car was owned by a former Cardiff and Newcastle striker. Yes, it was Phantom of the Chopra.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Phantom of the
not
Chopper.
bad.
Yeah, not bad.
If it was a joke about Michael Chopra.
Yeah. Birthday number 3, Andy.
It was Michael Chopra's birthday, maybe.
Well, it isn't. It's Cliff Thorburn's birthday.
Yeah.
Cliff Thorburn, yeah.
The former world champion.
The methodical that was Doug Mountjoy, wasn't it? Sorry,
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't the methodical.
Let Andy tell his joke.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Carol.
He's in a mood this week. He wants to go home.
Go on.
I am at home. I was commentating on a celebrity snooker match between Cliff and the world-famous conductor Zubin Mehta.
Oh, yeah.
Zubin was about to pot the black for the first ever televised Classical Musicians 147. As Bill Werbenick peered round the screen, I went, "Good luck, Mehta."
Yeah, that's a really niche bit of commentary you have to know about for that joke to work.
Well, you did it.
I just did it.
He just said, "Good luck, mate."
And look at that. He's on the black. Good luck, Mehta. And then his tailor, he's got his glasses on upside down.
I'd say all the latest voices. If you see Charlie on tour, he does all the new turns.
He really is.
Cliff Thorburn, 79.
Do Harold Wilson in a minute.
Yeah. I think I said this at the Brighton conference. 79. You do them all, didn't you, Charlie?
Do them all. Some of them not allowed to do it.
John
anymore.
Noakes. No, you can't. 79.
70. I can't even remember who we're talking about.
Cliff Thorburn.
Older than that, 82.
78.
Oh, 1 out again.
Standard.
So I'm on 2. What's Charlie on, Jeff?
Charlie's on 10, so it's 2 to you, 10 to Charlie.
Evening, Harold.
Back to Charlie for birthday number 4.
Dear, oh dear. It's the fine country singer, Dolly Parton. Dolly
Oh,
Parton.
yeah, Dolly Parton.
Now, not many people know that Dolly was chosen to sing the Swedish World Cup song for US 94.
Yeah.
It was a massive hit in Stockholm, but no one else liked Brolin, Brolin,
nice.
Brolin.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Thomas Broley.
How old's Dolly then, Charlie?
How old's Dolly? She is. I'm going to.
She in the Thorburn envelope, you think?
81.
What a film that was. 81.
Pretty niche.
Yeah, it was.
Not exactly F1.
It's
is
not
it?
one of those Harlan Cobens with Jimmy Nesbitt.
Any given.
The Thorburn envelope. I'd say she's
Film about Cliff.
79.
Who's going to see that?
I am.
Yeah. George Clooney as Cliff
I think I can get the money together. 79, Jeff.
Ben Affleck as Ted Lowe.
Who was it? Who was it? Who was it, Andy?
How old is he, Andy?
Dolly Parton. 80.
It's
80. She's 80.
I said 79. You said what, 80?
81.
81. Okay, so we're both... Yeah. Okay, so Jeff, what's happened there?
Yeah, you're both 1 out. Paul 3, Charlie 11, and Dolly has opened a tiny but very successful company in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Stocking items which get sold online. It's the best little warehouse in Texas.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, actually, that's quite good.
Yeah, it's quite good. Don't sound so shocked, Andy. Birthday number 5 to take us in half-time.
Like a flipping comedy festival, would you?
It's the Leicester Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the rugby union player Neil Back.
Neil Back.
And I couldn't understand it when England rugby selectors preferred a now ageing Neil to Andy Good. I couldn't believe they went back for good.
Back for good.
Want you back?
What's Neil? He's got to be about 46, is he? For maybe a bit older, 40... 49. 49, I'm going to go.
Neil Back.
49.
Neil Back. 49. Yeah, I think you say 49?
I've said 49.
Yeah, I think you're about right there, Paul. 50.
57.
Oh, is he really?
Okay.
Blimey. It doesn't feel that long ago when he was playing. That is bad. Okay. So what's the scores, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, a bit
At
hard.
half-time.
So I'm not well. Keep going.
Paul's voice is breaking.
Yeah.
At half-time, Paul 8 out onto 11, Charlie 7 out onto 18. 7 the gap. Paul is in the lead.
Not much in it, really. Very
Not
tight
much,
game.
really,
Let us know how you're getting on. Talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH&J, and we'll bring you the best of those very, very shortly. We're here, of course, with Tool Station. Pick up your wet weather essentials today. Next stop, Tool Station. It's a birthday spread. It's 18 to Charlie, 11 to me. I'm just slightly in the lead. How are the listeners getting on?
Yeah, Mark from Lancaster says, is Charlie doing Bruce Forsyth? Thank you very much. The Thorburn Identity, Paul.
The Thorburn Identity.
Yeah,
nice
name for the film. Doing better than the cricket. Scuppered me onto... I'm 10 out. 3 direct hits on Dolly, Littler and Crawford.
Right.
Sheriff Fatman in Leeds, which, if you're going to go into the law...
Yeah,
the legal department of something. It's tough. 29 at the moment. I never knew Michael Crawford was Afrikaans. Charlie.
Oh, yeah, he does all the voices.
Every day's a learning. Yeah, that's Dickie in Beckenham. Deb's Ironing Shop in Wakefield, the only place you can buy the trading cards, by the way.
Oh yeah, the trade. We sell all our merch through Deb's Ironing Shop.
If you go up there,
you can see them on the screen.
On the screen at the moment. Yeah.
I think Jeff's is quite savage. It's Jeff's trading card.
Oh, there's Andy. Yeah,
there's Andy on the box.
On the box, it looks very nice, doesn't he?
How my teeth this week.
Yeah, that's it. So anyway, go and check the trading cards out.
Loving Andy's gags and Jeff's toppers. I'm laughing loads. That's Craig in Windsor.
Okay,
he's on 12 after 5.
He's on something. If he's
liver sausage, Larry. We don't know. We'd like to know you got your name, Larry.
No, we really don't want to know.
23 out. 23 out. He lost 12 points on Neil Back.
We have got.
Don't look back in anger.
We've got 7. We got 5 minutes. The producer says to finish this stupid game off. So take it away, Andy.
Okay, it's the founder of the Today newspaper, Eddie Shah.
Eddie Shah, yeah.
I was playing golf with him, actually, when he drove wildly and sent the ball hard and low to the right. Fortunately for Eddie, his ball hit a tree and rebounded straight into the hole. It was great to see the Shah Shank redemption.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Eddie Shah, what do you reckon, Charlie?
I don't know who Eddie Shah is. Can you tell me what
the Today newspaper?
What, used to run it?
He got a certain infamy.
He founded it.
He founded
it.
All right. Infamy in doing that.
Okay, yeah, Eddie Shah. I'm going to say he's 84.
That's good work.
Okay.
Because I'd say he's around
Today newspaper was,
I'll say 83.
When I had a paper round.
82.
82.
Yeah.
Pretty good, Paul, wasn't it? I mean, I know you know about the papers. So
well done, yeah.
In the paper. Right. Standard!
Yes. What's the scores, Jeff?
It's Paul 12, Charlie 20. And once a year, all of Eddie's friends get together to sing mid-80s soul jazz songs to him, like Your Love is King and Smooth Operator. We call it Shah Day.
Yeah.
Shah, that's nice. Shah Day.
That's nice.
Not bad.
He's got a lot of toppers today.
I know, a lot of toppers, doesn't he? He must have some time on his hands.
Birthday number 7.
Do some work, Jeff.
Well, are you in Mexico? He looks like he might be.
I think he's
always in
Mexico.
On Mars.
Yeah.
You're on Mexico. The sociologist and writer, Professor Anne Oakley. Anne Oakley.
Oh, yeah.
And we were playing in a charity match at Carrow Road. And we had a selection of Norwich father and son keepers to choose from. I said to her, Annie, get your gun.
Oh,
that's good.
Nice. Whip crack away. Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
You, Paul.
She's a sociologist, is she?
Say what she do again? What else?
Sociologist and writer.
Oh, yeah.
60,
Anne Oakley.
67.
What am I, 8 behind?
Yeah.
70. 82.
Okay.
That's
Chipped
good,
away.
Charlie.
Chipped away. Chipped away.
So what's happened there, Jeff?
The gap has been closed. So Paul 15 out onto 27, Charlie 12 out onto 32. 5 in it, Paul in the lead.
Good now, isn't it? Good game now.
It's a
good game now, isn't it?
So, Charlie's go first.
The grown-ups have entered the room. Good news.
Yeah, that's it. Birthday number 8.
Birthday number 8, Conservative MP for Sherwood.
Oh, yeah.
From 2010 to 24, Sir Mark Spencer. Mark Spencer. And he's got one of the strangest and little-known middle names in the UK. His second name, a diminutive of my own first name, is And.
Yes.
I liked it.
Mark and Spencer. So what were his years, Jeff? Sorry, Andy?
2010
10 to 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. MP,
Spencer. Yeah. MP. Yeah. Not just any MP.
No, that's true.
Mark and...
What do you reckon?
Laughed at my own joke there, Paul.
Yeah,
you see that?
Not for the first time.
Really.
Quite vigorously.
Who's this guy? He's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's yourself. Do come and see me on tour.
What do you reckon? Did you do Frank Spencer?
Well, I will do if you want.
In which case, I'll leave it.
I will do live Ben Duckett walking to the...
Oh, now that is funny. So anyway,
I think he's 75.
I'm going to go a bit younger because 59.
56.
Oh, because he's a recent MP. Just logic.
It's logic.
What's that done to the scores, Jeff?
Ball 3 out onto 30, Charlie. Oh dear, 19 out onto 51. The gap is 21.
Why don't we just talk? Someone makes a good point here. Childish game. It's made for idiots. This is Ron. Played by idiots. Talk about sport. Cheshire.
Yeah, he's right.
Just
He's
why don't you talk about sport?
Yeah, well, we have.
Where's the football chat?
Just having a
Half
break.
an hour out of the whole week,
Yeah,
mate.
waste
Go
of time.
away.
National radio.
What's next?
Absolute waste of time.
Birthday number 9,
That
Andy.
text was a waste of time. Anyway, it's the...
Very rude to the listeners.
Well, I am. It's the soprano. They need it. It's the soprano, Nancy Argenta. Nancy Argenta.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to go out... we used to go out together,
Oh, that's
sorry.
nice.
And but I upset her sister, Tina, who immediately burst into tears. I said to her, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Don't cry for me, Tina Argenta.
There's a bit of an IKEA one.
Don't cry for me, Tina Argenta.
That was a bit of an IKEA from Andy, wasn't it? Here's the bits.
Yeah.
Make it yourself.
It's a flat pack gag.
Here's the bits just in some sort of order.
Anyway, we better finish this so they can start talking about sport.
Yes. Talk about sport, for goodness sake.
The soprano, Tina Argenta.
Argentine.
It's not Tina, is it? 80.
Nancy.
80.
What am I? 21 out, am I, Jeff?
80.
Yeah.
No, 80. 90.
Oh, Regals. 69.
69. So the score's going into the last one. We're going to wind this up.
It's Paul 41,
Just knock it on the head
Charlie
now, shall we?
72.
So
Back
what's the
Saturday
difference
morning
there?
with 9 till 11 with Max Rushton, then 2 till 6.
They want to be
Game on
32 either way.
Virgin Radio.
Here we go,
And then
Andy.
6 till 10 on Times Radio.
Times Radio.
Unbelievable.
And please look out for me as I travel home just talking to the person next to me.
Next
Okay.
one, Andy. Final.
It's the
32.
actress, famous actress from The Birds. Hitchcock's The Birds.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's not 21, is she?
Tippi Hedren.
Tippi Hedren, oh, yeah.
And the last time I saw her, she was with Alan and Ray in the Guinness Village at Cheltenham. Surprisingly, she wasn't that drunk, just a bit tipsy Hedren.
Yeah.
It's pointless, isn't it?
80,
Pointless because
85.
she's not going to be. I'm not going to be 32 out. am I?
85. It's unlikely she is. She's
not
120.
Exactly. She's not 120. She's not 50 something.
have a guess,
I'm
anyway.
getting got to go in my ear.
85.
Don't play the game if we haven't got time for it.
85. I'm gone.
Knock it on the head.
How old is she?
Pointless. Daz says talk about sport, please. Yeah,
How old
I
is she?
agree, Daz. 95.
96.
There
Good
we
last
are.
guess.
Well done, Charlie.
Yeah, you see.
Well done, Charlie.
Finally, someone we'd heard of.
Final scores, Charlie. Andy, sorry. Jeff.
No one cares. Just
Bet your
move
cards,
on.
Paul,
Andy
Paul
Goldstein
52.
next.
Paul 52, Charlie 73. It's 3-0 to Paul this year and 4 in a row for Mr.
Oh,
Wood.
dear.
Wow, I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank
See you
you,
next
Andy. She'll see you tomorrow. And thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. 9 till 11 Saturday morning, Max Rushton, and 2 till 6 Virgin. Game on Saturday and Sunday.
I'll be here tomorrow with Andy. Have a fine evening. Coming up next, it is Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Drive.